and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1. It's time to get up and get your day started.
Get up! Get up!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
I hope everybody had a fantastic 4th of July weekend. You didn't drink too much. You were careful with the fireworks, and you had a splendid time. But that tribute to the red, white, and blue, our 250th birthday, it continues. It's all year long. We're 250, baby. And tonight, the red, white, and blue will hopefully shine at the World Cup as the United States will take on Belgium in the round of 16, but not without its controversy, which we'll talk about today, along with everything else that's happening in the world of sports, as we welcome you into Sports 56 Mornings on this Monday, July 6th. 2026. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Jay Ham with you. We're broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios. We're live and local every day. Family Leisure is getting you set for a great week, and hopefully you've already taken advantage of all the deals they have at Family Leisure for your 4th of July get-togethers, but there's a long way to go in the summer, and whatever you need, you can pick it up at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Weather-wise today, 72 degrees currently, feels like 81. It'll get up to 89 today. About an 85% chance we're going to see some rain and the possibility of thunderstorms. That will continue tomorrow with about a 55% chance and a cloudy day. So clouds more than sun the next 2 days, and then sun more than clouds Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but every day with a minimum of 50% chance of precipitation, with the temperatures rising into the close to the mid-90s by the middle to end of the week. Hour one of the program brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Hopefully your parties included Old Dominick goodies like Tennessee whiskey, bourbon whiskey, Honeybell citrus vodka, Formula 10 gin, all those great spirits made at the 305 South Front Street Distillery right there in downtown Memphis. That's Old Dominick and the Old Dominick Distillery Bar. If you haven't been there yet, you need to go by, have a cocktail, maybe a local draft beer at their incredible bar. It really is nice, something that you see in the major cities around the world. I think it's big time, and you need to take advantage of that. You could also take a tour, a guided tour of Old Dominick and Old Dominick Distillery, and find out the history about it. Find out more by going online to olddominick.com. And at the website, they list all their whiskeys and spirits, all their signature cocktails, and instructions on how you can make them at home using the Old Dominick spirits. Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits. Stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. The World Cup, I'll tell you, it's been fantastic in my opinion. Of course, it's controversial. There's still some things that we don't like about it with the flopping and the offsides and other things. I do a Cosby, the flipping and the flopping but the excitement, really the drama of these knockout round games have been fantastic. And we will talk about that. And of course, the USA's matchup tonight with Belgium. The Grizzlies Summer League team in action over the weekend as they knocked off Oklahoma City. Your first glimpse of Cam Boozer. Although Kareem Lopez did not play, they're back in action tonight against Utah in Salt Lake City. We'll talk Summer League basketball on the program today. We'll go around the association, some other NBA news, both news with player personnel and coaching news as well. Hunter Goodman is an all-star again, representing Arlington High School and the University of Memphis. The all-stars were announced, the starters, and then the replacements, the subs, which of course will probably be replaced by other replacements, because that usually is the case with pitchers that can't pitch in a game or injuries that come up. We already have one starter that is bailed out, so we'll give you all that information on the program. We'll talk some Tigers basketball, some golf as well. Big upset at Wimbledon. That's all coming up on the program today, and we'll take your calls and texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. The head coach of the Memphis men's soccer team, Richard Mulrooney, part of the U.S. national team from 2001 through 2004. He will join us to preview the matchup tonight and talk World Cup with us. Again, that'll be coming up at 8:25. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Did you have a nice 4th?
Fantastic 4th. Great. Couldn't have been much better. Happy birthday, America.
So what did you do? Barbecue?
I cooked some burgers yesterday on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
But I played golf. I spent some time at the pool.
Nice.
Watched some fireworks. Checked all the boxes.
Did the little barbecue thing on Saturday, then went to Germantown to see the fireworks. And we left very, very late. And I thought by the time we get to Germantown, they will be done. And we got there and started perfectly on time. Like right when we got there, our time, not the time that was announced. It was perfect. Loved it. I know downtown had a big fireworks display as well. Other cities and communities had fireworks shows, whether it would be Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, maybe even Sunday. They had the big fireworks extravaganza over at the Redbirds games on Friday and Saturday. I was donning my Redbirds jersey with the Declaration of Independence and my big floppy hat, and thank the Redbirds for dropping those things off last week. That was a hit. I'm sure we'll see a lot of that around the city. Jay Ham, how was your 4th of July weekend? What you do?
I hung out with the family, and we had a lot of fun, and we did a lot of good eating.
So what you eat? You were talking about you grew up the chicken. You got the burgers?
We had the fried fish on Friday with the small fish fried, and we went all out. Well, while we were doing the fish fry, my cousin did the stuff for Saturday. So I got away before he started cooking, so I didn't get a chance to sample. So I had to wait till Saturday to get the good barbecue.
So when you finish up after all your eats, you gained what, 4 or 5 pounds?
I'd probably say 6 to 7.
The fish fry, do you get the chips as well, like the French fries, or is it just fish?
We just came fish with this one.
And
just
what, catfish, is it?
Catfish, a little whiting, a little bit buffalo. Just mix it up a little bit.
Very nice. Did you go to any of the fireworks shows?
No, my cousins have crates and.
Oh, so they're just firing them off right there.
Yeah, they're firing them. But I was smart enough because I left when the older crowd left that way because they didn't want to hear all that noise.
Right.
But the weather was so nice that it was able to cool off after the weather that my mom and all her sisters, they were able to just sit outside and hang. But it was time for them to go home. I went with them because I didn't want to hear all that noise.
I hear you. But Saturday night, you're right. It did. I mean, not like it was 50 degrees, but compared to what we had, it was real nice out there at the fireworks show. So I enjoyed it. And then I watched a little bit on the television as well, fireworks shows from around the country. And was I mistaken? Was the Brooklyn Bridge on fire?
It looked like a third world country from what I was saying.
I mean, seriously, I thought like part of the Brooklyn Bridge was on fire. I think I read a story there. I saw the video and I was like, wait, is this AI? Is it real? So hopefully that's fine because, that's the last thing you want. Celebrate our 250th birthday and lose one of the iconic places in all of this country, and that is downtown Manhattan, crossing the Brooklyn Bridge over to Brooklyn, New York, and the fabled Brooklyn Bridge. I would hate to lose that, but I know it was put out, whatever it was. If it was the Brooklyn Bridge, it was put out pretty quickly. Okay. It's very unusual that we open up talking about the World Cup, but we've done it a couple of times. And what happened over the weekend in the action was fantastic, which we'll talk about. There was and you played so much golf. I don't know how much soccer you watched yesterday. Did you watch at least the England match with Mexico yesterday?
Yeah, I got to watch yesterday's, watch that. I got to see a little bit of the Brazil game as well.
So you watched some. Did you watch Argentina and Cape Verde the other day in the round of 32?
I did not see that.
That was a classic. It was a tremendous performance by the big-time underdogs who ended up losing 3-2 to Argentina, the defending champions. Cape Verde returned to their home as heroes. Great heroes welcome for them. There is a story out there, I don't know how true it is, that the goalkeeper for Cape Verde, he was 40 years old. It reminds me of the guy on the old Spice commercials that he signed with Inter Miami, which I guess is I think that's the Messi team. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if they wanted to sign a 40-year-old goalkeeper. That dude became an international star in the performance, not only by him, but his country, Cape Verde. But they lost, and Argentina moved on to the Sweet 16, if you will, and they'll be in action tomorrow. Today, though, you got Portugal and Spain, which is a brotherly rivalry. You're talking about the two countries next to each other. Spain has been a dominant country in the World Cup. Portugal, not so much. Cristiano Ronaldo could be playing his final match. More than likely will be if Portugal loses as far as World Cup is concerned. But the one tonight is the one we're concerned about, and that's the United States and their battle with Belgium. So here is the latest. If you missed it yesterday, the red card that was given to Flo Balogun in the match against Bosnia-Herzegovina, which the United States, of course, won, was rescinded yesterday. And nobody knows exactly why. And FIFA is not telling anybody exactly why. And they're also not telling anyone if it was a complete vote by their committee of 18 or whatever the case was. But most people are now hearing reports that Donald Trump was involved, that the White House was involved in getting this thing changed. And people are losing their collective minds. Now, it should not have been a red card anyway. And the way they looked at the VAR, the video replay system, is wrong, according to everything I've read. But it stood. There was no appeal. It stood. And now there's also not an appeal of the reversal. But according to stories this morning, Belgium has been granted the right to appeal. So they've gone out of their jurisdiction, if you will, to allow them to appeal this thing. I don't know what's going on. Some things you can appeal, some things you can't. But Belgium, according to, this is Yahoo Sports, has been granted the right to appeal against FIFA's decision to suspend the one-game ban handed to Flo Balogun less than 24 hours before the team's round of 16 match, which will be tonight, 7 o'clock Central, from Seattle. The Belgian Federation said it was astonished by FIFA's decision to suspend the ban for a period of 1 year, and the Royal Belgian, I should say, Football Association responded that the move was in direct contradiction of the competition regulations and said it is exploring all potential options. I don't know if that includes an option of forfeiting. I mean, of not playing, not wanting. I don't know how bad this could get, but I don't know, man. I think they got the call wrong, and in the end, the reversal, they got it right. The guy should have never gotten the red card. But Eli, this is extremely fishy. This is as fishy as Jay Ham's Friday Night Fish Fry. I mean, this is pretty bad if what we're hearing is true.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's FIFA. So
FIFA, right.
You have to understand that.
With a TH.
You never know you're never quite sure what they're going to do. It's, the old suspension of the suspension is I've never heard of the suspending a suspension, for a year.
There's always a first.
That's a new thing upon me. Yeah. I mean, in the end, it feels like everybody believes he should never have been suspended.
Right.
He should have never gotten a red card, but.
So is it all well? All's well that ends well?
He did, and the rules state clearly that a red card means you're suspended for the next game. So I could certainly understand where, if you're Belgium, you would be pissed.
Right.
Like, this is,
what the hell?
Like, why are we just randomly deciding that this guy doesn't have a suspension, or his suspension is suspended for a year? I'm not sure what that means, but
right. For a year, so what? In a year, what are you going to decide whether or not to? Bring it back.
So I don't like it's, but this is. I mean, it's funny because we joked last week about getting a judge. Can't we get a judge to say he's eligible to play? Well, it not technically didn't have to go to the courts to do it, but we just had powerful people,
right,
make phone calls,
right,
and lo and behold, he's eligible to play. It's truly the American way, and that's the way we do things in sports.
It's also
now.
the FIFA way. it's the FIFA way. I don't know if they took a bribe. I mean, they probably didn't take a bribe. It was just the power of Trump, if that is true. But you're right. It's the American way. It's the FIFA way. It should never have been a red card to begin with. So some people will say, well, it never should have happened. So it's all even Steven now. But on the flip side, here's Belgium preparing for the United States to not have Balogun, who's one of their top offensive players. He has 3 goals. Now, people are getting a little bit crazy here, like comparing him to Messi or something. It's a big have in your lineup when he's there. But if he's not, it didn't mean that the United States couldn't win this match with Belgium if he's not in there. But they got a better chance if he is. He is a good offensive threat, but 3 goals. It's not like he has 10 goals. But I just don't like the fact that I'm torn. I'm really torn. I'm happy for the United States that we have the full arsenal, because now if Belgium wins, Belgium can say we beat them at full strength, and the United States would be like, well, we had our guy, so there's no excuses. The problem is if the United States wins, well, they won because they got that guy back, and he shouldn't have been back because he got a red card and he should have been suspended. There's a lot of things that can happen, and there will be talk no matter what after it's all said and done. But Belgium could put that talk to a minimum if they take care of business and win and beat the United States at full arsenal. But again, they don't like being given this old switcheroo a day before the game. So it's unfair to them, but I don't think it was fair to Flo that he got the red card to begin with. And I got into it a little bit yesterday with the soccer people. Of course, our buddy Lawrence Dockery, who is a referee, and I bow to him because he knows it a lot better than I do. But there's a lot of other people out there, some who know soccer, some who think they know soccer. And a lot of it's arbitrary. I don't care what they say, it's arbitrary. So do they think that Flo's penalty shouldn't have happened? Or do they just think that the VAR was misused by the official? What are we talking? Are we talking about a technicality, or did he really deserve the red card? Because we had all kinds of stuff over the weekend. Some that turned into red cards, like for England, who had to play it man down and still was able to beat Mexico, or others that were given yellow cards. I'm confused. And then there's the arbitrary time. I mean, I don't even understand the time. I'm not even talking about how many minutes they put on the board for stoppage time. I'm talking about once they get to that time, they keep going. I lost the big bet 1 minute late. J-Ham remembers that. 7 minutes extra time. We're in the 8th minute now. And that's how I lost the... So I think that's arbitrary. But with all that said and done, the flopping, the offsides thing, which obviously we both have an issue with, but more you so than me, it's been great. It's been fun. I asked my buddies, I said, are you watching? One guy's watching, the other guy's Third guy's like, I haven't watched 1 second of it. I go, how can you not watch 1 second of it? It's everywhere. It's what's being talked about. All the people that's come to this country. We're the host, North America. I think it's been a hit. Now, will I start to watch more MLS and Premier League stuff? No. Once in a blue moon, I may watch something. Once in a blue moon, because there's other stuff, including American football and then basketball and then baseball. But the World Cup being here in the United States, I watched as much as I can. Unless I'm doing something with the family or what, I am watching it. And I watched it all throughout the weekend. And I will be fixated tonight. And they will set records tonight for viewership.
Yeah, I would assume that they will do great numbers. And I'm sure this has been great for Fox and everything else. You know, being able to have the games in prime time, all of that stuff works out well. And yeah, I mean, I was entertained by the England-Mexico match. A lot of, I certainly haven't watched a ton. That was as entertaining a soccer game as I've probably seen in this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I haven't watched a ton of it, and certainly will watch when I can when the Americans play, and that includes tonight. I'll be ready to watch that, and I'll put the Grizzlies Summer League on the secondary TV. I'll give the World Cup TV number 1 for tonight.
Ooh, look at you. You mentioned England. England held off Mexico. As I said, they went down to 10 players like the United States did in the Bosnia-Herzegovina match. Mexico was pummeling them. I forget how many crosses they said they had, how many corners. They couldn't get enough. They scored twice, but it wasn't enough. England wins 3-2. Harry Kane or Harry Kane with a PK, his 85th international goal. I thought Mexico had a great chance to pull the upset. They had only lost, I think, twice since 2013 at their stadium with an elevation of 10,000 feet above sea level. I thought England would run out of gas. They did not. They got a second win and were able to hold on with just the 10 players. Norway, shocking win over Brazil. Norway wins 2-1, and Erling Haaland, who's one of the stars of World Cup 26, had 2 more goals. When this is all said and done, this guy may end up being the, whatever they call it, the Golden Boot winner. He's been outstanding, but that was a shocker. Brazil, one of the favorites coming in.
I don't know if I didn't know it was a shocker or not, but I know that dude's good. I know that Holland dude is awesome.
He's huge too.
He scores. The big names continue to do it. They seems like every time, between Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, Kane, like anytime, these guys seem to score every time they're on the field.
Yeah, I guess you can't triple team the guys, but you can double team them, and they're still able to figure out ways to score. By the way, Brazil scores, and if you had bet a clean sheet, you got screwed because, again, the clock, it was already into the next minute of, I forget what they said. They said 7 minutes of stoppage time. It was the 8th minute, and they ended up getting a PK, and it was a Neymar. And you're talking about big names. Ronaldo's already announced he's done last World Cup. Neymar is done as well, and most people believe Messi will be done. So you're talking about some greats that are leaving the game, but there's other greats that are waiting to take over and get their chance to shine in the spotlight. And Haaland is one who has really taken off. So anyway, Norway is in to the Elite Eight. England is in. Morocco destroyed Canada 3-0. I'm sure you were distraught about that one. So they're in. And then France, they barely beat Paraguay, and they were pissed at the end. You had Mbappe talking about how they weren't playing football. They weren't playing traditional football. They were playing American football, basically. They were trying to physically beat them up. But Mbappe got the goal, and they survived 1-0. So you got half of the field for the Elite Eight in, and 3 of the 4 are European countries. You got England, France, Norway, and then Morocco from Africa. So I said today you're going to get another European team in no matter what, because it's Spain and Spain and Portugal. And then you have the United States and Belgium, and they got a chance to get another European team in with Belgium. And then tomorrow they got a chance for another one with Switzerland. So the Europeans doing what they normally do and dominate. But, shocking to see Brazil lose. You had teams like Germany and the Netherlands, who are powers in Europe. They went out earlier. So that's how good the competition is with the European squads. But the United States tonight, I'm looking forward to having Richard Mulrooney on the program. He's the head coach of the Memphis men's soccer team, but he's the 3-time MLS Cup champion and played for the U.S. national team from 2001 to 2004. Get his thoughts on what he thought about the ruling, the reversal, what he thinks about the matchup and the rest of the way in the World Cup. Again, the United States, I think, from here on out, it's gravy. Because I don't think most people believe that they'd get that far once they got to the knockout stage. And they've already won one. But once you taste it, they want to go all the way. And fans want to see them go all the way. We do. But what's reality? I think the reality is, though, that they could win tonight against Belgium. And we'll get those thoughts of Richard Mulrooney. We'll get your thoughts as well when we return. You can hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. 8255. And we'll get into the Summer League. It's underway. The first glimpse of Cam Boozer in a Grizzlies uniform in the Salt Lake City Summer League. We'll talk about that when we return. Again, hour number 1 brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery, producing Tennessee whiskey, bourbon whiskey, Honeybell citrus vodka, Formula 10 gin. 150 years in the making, starting with the Canali family's arrival to Memphis and the revival beginning in 2017 when the doors opened to the public. Check them out online at olddominick.com. Stop by for an award-winning craft spirit. Swing by for a pregame cocktail. Happy hour every Thursday from 4 to 7. It's Old Dominick Distillery at 305 South Front Street. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let Bryant Dacus and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon. Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders Roofing and Restoration. We've seen days, even what seems like weeks of soaking rain, damaging hail, and even flooding. So today, do one simple thing. Look up. If you see a water stain, bubbling paint, or discoloration on your ceiling, don't ignore it. What starts as a small roof leak can quickly become mold, turning a minor problem into a major expense. At Metro Builders Memphis, our professionals will inspect your roof, assess any storm damage, help mitigate further damage. We'll measure your roof from outer space and guide you through the repair or replacement process with an estimate on site with multiple options at that. Don't let them tell you your roof needs to be replaced when all it may need is some love. We'll give you an honest assessment so you can make the right decision for your home and family. At Metro Builders Memphis, call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717, or simply book your appointment online at metrobuildersmemphis.com.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawald Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawald is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good morning. A steady flow of traffic spotted now coming down I-40 westbound. That's only going to get heavier the next few minutes passing Chambers Chapel, Canada Road. All that traffic flowing in right now on I-40 in from Fayette County here into this section of Shelby County. It's already a little bit crowded in the Midtown area, 240 northbound, especially as that builds up by Lamar. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. If you're having transmission problems, let them check it out today at Amco Transmissions. Amco, AA, beep, beep. MCO. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:28 is the time. Hope everybody had a fantastic 4th of July weekend holiday. Most had Friday off for their 3-day weekend. There might be a few people who have Monday off, but if you're with us, thank you for being with us. We appreciate that. We were talking World Cup to open up the show. Tonight, the United States versus Belgium, and the reversal of the Flo Balogun red card. He will be able to play for the United States tonight, although it is being appealed by the Belgium National Soccer Federation. Everybody has their opinion about the thing. I think most people that understand the game believe that the referee erred in going to the VAR and using the slow down and the slow motion and the still photos, which wasn't allowed because of the non-call on the pitch, and that was a problem with why they think it should never have been a red card. Whether or not the act was a red card, I have no idea because I don't know anymore. I saw too much of that over the weekend where a dude's going for the ball and he gets beaten to the ball by the other dude and it hits his leg, and then all of a sudden he's got a red card and he's out for the game. And people are trying to explain it to me, but man, it's just it's weird, man. It's very, they're going full. It's like the targeting rule, and the targeting rule tries to take intent into consideration. And with soccer, they should do the damn thing. They should do the same damn thing. They should look at that, because almost everyone I saw, there's no intent. There was no intent to injure. There's no intent to even make contact with the leg. It was trying to make contact with the ball. But when you get politics involved, which we know FIFA's always been involved in politics, but if it truly was White House intervention, I'm not a fan of it. I'm glad that the United States got the favorable ruling because they deserve the favorable ruling. Not because I'm an American. It's because I think they screwed up from the get-go. But it took so long, and nobody thought there would be a reversal because there wasn't an appeal process. And all of a sudden it happens about 30 hours, 36 hours, whatever it is, before they play. And now you're Belgium going, what the hell's that? We're preparing for this guy not to be in there, and now we got to prepare for him to be in there?
Well, I mean, if they had come out, the day after the game or a couple days and said, we're suspending the suspension, and gave a reason, like if they said based on the misuse of VAR or whatever,
right?
Like, this is why we're doing it, but it's just kind of like, yeah, we're suspending the suspension, and you do it this late in the whole thing, it looks a little weird. It looks
fishy.
And if this was reversed, like if this was a Belgium player who they were suspending his suspension for the exact same situation, we would be losing our mind.
Sure.
Like as a country, we would be going crazy. Like, how in the hell could this possibly be the case that you're overturning this? So it is, yeah, it's great. It works out for good old USA. Again, this is in a lot of way the American way, but it's a very, very weird thing to come out this late after you'd already said there was no appeals process, to come out and just be like, oh yeah, by the way, we've really thought about this for a few days now, and we decided, you know what? Hell with that suspension thing. Those rules don't apply here. We're just going to overlook them. And I don't know how, like, I mean, and it puts, like, what, even if they say, okay, you guys can appeal, well, how quickly can anything, like, the game's tonight.
Right.
Like, what's going to happen? Like, between now and 7 o'clock tonight, in the next less than 12 hours, we're going to be able to get something done? I don't see how that's possible.
And again, it doesn't guarantee the United States wins because they got this guy back. He's a very good player. He has 3 of their 10 goals. He's not David Beckham. He's not Messi. He's not Ronaldo. He's a good player, a really good player. It's important to have him. Better chance to win with him. But there's no guarantees. The United States now, they're having a party that they're going to win. They got beat up pretty good by Belgium in a friendly not that long ago. So this will be a challenge whether you have them or not. But you want the full arsenal. And again, if you're the opponent, look, you just want to win, I would think. But if you win, and you win now with their full arsenal, then you could, stick out your chest a little bit more broader, because there's no excuses. Well, we didn't have our goal scorer. So again, tonight, 7 o'clock from Seattle. I think it will be a record amount of people that'll be watching that match.
Somebody says this year's World Cup is now tarnished.
Only if the United States wins it all, maybe.
If the U.S. went on to win it all, I guess you could make that case. But if they don't, or especially if Belgium beats them tonight, well, who cares? Then it's all for naught.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter at that point, unless like England wants to say, well, why is our guy got to sit out the next game when he got a red card, where their guy didn't have to sit out when he got a red card?
Right.
What's the deal here? But yeah, I don't know. Like that, you could make some arguments there, whatever. It is interesting that it is Belgium that gets screwed by FIFA waffling.
I'm looking for this tweet. Here it is. This is weird, man. I retweeted this tweet, which was a real tweet. And then I got like readers add context. I've never had that happen to any of my tweets. Readers add context. So the tweet was 189 red cards have been handed out in the history of the World Cup. Only 2 have been rescinded. One in 1962. I was 1. I remember that so well. And 2026. Now, the guy in 1962 was a guy named Garrincha from Brazil. And the readers who added context say, Garrincha did not receive a red card since they were introduced in 1970. In the World Cup in 1970. There was no red card in the World Cup before that. Up until then, the players were sent off the field, but there wasn't an explicit and automatic ban for the next game. So, if that is the case, with the reader's context, correcting the original tweet that I retweeted, then we have history in the making. But we also have the reversal, which would be history in the making. Right?
The red card is not rescinded. It's just the suspension is suspended.
Well, right. True. But
they're not saying he didn't get the red card. They're not saying we overturned the red card. They're simply suspending the suspension.
But that's more BS than anything. If you just took away the red card and said, listen, they looked at the replay, they were not allowed to do these certain things, so they messed up. It's like legality in the judicial system. You know, they got the evidence illegally. The guy got a red card. They think, I don't know, it was sketchy whether or not he deserved it, but they weren't allowed to look at it in slow motion and still shots and all that. So we're rescinding it. Okay, I get it. And then, like you said, you know, have it done immediately, not 2 days, 3 days later. But if they're just suspending it for a year, like he's going to be given, he's going to have to fulfill the 1 game suspension 1 year from now, what does that say? Again, it says that some illegal crap was going on behind closed doors, which I have an issue. Even though the United States is the beneficiary, I have an issue. If literally, and again, I shouldn't be surprised, it's FIFA. Their nickname's FIFA. I shouldn't be surprised if literally what people are saying, Trump called them up and they changed it. And like you said, Eli, you're right. It's not necessarily rescinding it. It's just putting it off, letting him play with this cloud over his head and over the USA's head. But most people probably don't give a crap. Grab yourself a beer, something good to eat tonight, watch the game. But man, it's just, you talk about wielding power. How about it in the end we find out it was Greg Sankey that got it changed?
More likely it's Cody Campbell.
I don't know. FIFA, they don't need the money. Those dudes, they have pocketed so much money over their lifetimes, I'm sure. Talking about taking illegal bribes and things for cities to host. Come on, man. I don't know if money's the object, but power may be. And that's a problem.
Ain't nobody ever turning down money. I don't care who you are. There ain't anybody in this world that turns down money.
Well, good point, because I don't know how long this guy's been in his position, but there's been different dudes that have been the president of FIFA over the years. So it's different guys that are on the take. And look, okay, let's be honest. It's happening. Come on. Anybody who thinks it doesn't happen, it's ridiculous. I'm not saying every single person is corrupt, but they are known. And where there's smoke, there's fire. All right, we're up against the break. We'll come back. We'll talk Summer League, Grizzlies. What did you think, folks? You got your first. Everybody now is about to anoint Cam Boozer, first team All-NBA. And already some of these other players that we've seen over the weekend, Darren Peterson will be a Hall of Famer after the one Summer League game. So I think people jump to conclusions, but we'll do a little jumping as well when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings, right here on Sports 56. And one of our great sponsors is
Central Barbecue.
Thank you.
2235 Central Avenue, the Central Avenue location. That's the original, and they are now serving up breakfast. That's right. You can head on by there right now. Serving up breakfast daily from 7 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. Serving up biscuits, breakfast burritos, French toast, toaster sandwiches. You could try it all over at Central Barbecue. That brisket burrito, that sounds delicious. Again, it's only at the Central Avenue location, 2235 Central Avenue. Also over there, of course, during the day after 11 o'clock, they're serving up their great barbecue, the hot wings, all of the great barbecue that you've known about. Plus, now they also have a full bar. The OG Bar as well, serving up mixed drinks, wine, and local beers as well from 11 a.m. until close. Breakfast in the morning, full bar, great barbecue throughout the day. That's what you'll find at Central Barbecue. And again, the breakfast, well, that's only at the Central Avenue location, 2235 Central Avenue, Central Barbecue.
Well, thanks for making me hungry. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show?
No!
Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The wait is finally over. Get ready for the grand opening of the newly remodeled Landers Cadillac of Memphis. You can shop grand opening savings at Landers Cadillac of Memphis, and you'll find there's a special deal on all the remaining new 2024 Escalades. You can get $20,000 in total savings. And they're paying top dollar for trades at Landers Cadillac. See how much you can save with the Landers Easy Pass at CadillacofMemphis.com. And remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Since 1948, in the Alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals, they start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
That's me in the corner.
The Salt Lake City Summer League got underway over the weekend, as did the Summer League out in California. Next week, well, later this week, Vegas will get underway, and that will include all 30 NBA teams. But only 4 in Salt Lake City, including your Memphis Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies opened up on Saturday, taking on Oklahoma City and drilling the Thunder 111-74. And, of course, the big story out of that one was Cam Boozer's first game, albeit a Summer League game, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in 24 minutes. He opened up with a vicious dunk. Omax with 17 points and 5 rebounds. Taylor Hendricks, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Javon Small with 11 points and 9 assists. Javon Small looked terrific in running the point. Cedric Coward with the team, 11 points, 8 rebounds. Unfortunately, Kareem Lopez, mild left hamstring strain, and Walter Clayton Jr., mild right knee strain, will not play in Salt Lake City. They'll be reevaluated for Las Vegas, although we saw Lopez putting up shots in practice yesterday. But it's, typical Grizzly stuff. But Cam Boozer, the big story for the Grizzlies in their rout of the Thunder.
Yeah, good to see him go out and have a strong first game. I'll say this, if the Grizzlies used that lineup throughout, like in Vegas and everything else, that's a pretty good summer league roster. that's a pretty strong summer league roster. They could do some damage if they were to use that lineup for every game. Now we'll see, how they handle this. Again, when you're playing in both leagues, there's obviously a lot more games, all that stuff. How many games Boozer actually ends up playing, how many games Coward ends up playing, and Hendricks and Omax and all those guys. I don't know how many games we'll end up seeing them play total, but strong effort from the guys that you would expect should look good in Summer League.
Yeah, two things jumped out at me was, number one, I expect Boozer is 18, he'll turn 19 later this month, a couple of weeks, maybe less than a couple of weeks. I expect him to be polished, even though it was his first game, I'm using the air quotes. He's just ahead of a lot of guys. That's all there is to it. The maturity, the upbringing. And so that didn't surprise me. He is going to be a really good player for the Grizzlies. I wanted to see what they did with the point guard position, and you talked about it. Coward had the ball a little bit, and dribbled it off his foot, and all that. He's not the answer at point. But Javon Small showed some good things. Again, I don't know how much you judge it on playing against the caliber of competition you're playing against, but we did see Small at times this past season during the injury-plagued year where he ran the point and did some good things. So I liked what I saw from Small. Disappointing that Clayton's out, and that's going to really hurt him. They have to make some roster moves. Jemai Meshack played, did some good things. I thought there were a lot of positives, but the two things that I wanted to see was again, Small at the point guard, and I wanted to see Kareem Lopez, and Lopez didn't play. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be able to go in Vegas. CD is dialed in on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. You can follow suit with a call or a text. Good morning, CD.
Good morning, gentlemen. Look here. Eli and Red, you stole my thunder. Everything you said what I want to talk about. Thanks a lot.
Well, we have to start talking about that topic before we can bring you on to talk about a topic we hadn't got to. So sorry about that. But go ahead, CD.
I'll get over it. Anyway, I was impressed with Small, but I think he needs to play a few more games. I'd like to see the point guard from Florida, the injured, and Lopez play. Yeah, Clayton and Lopez play. Now, my curiosity is, all the other guys on this Summer League team, where did they come from? What league? And are there any hope for them anywhere playing basketball?
Okay. We'll discuss. Thanks, CD. Appreciate the call as always.
Well, yeah. Tyler Burton and Lawson Levering both spent time with the Grizzlies last year. They were both with the Hustle. Cooper, they signed to the 2-way deal.
He's the Michigan State guy, so a number of them just came from college.
Yeah, I mean it's guys who are battling, trying to find 2-way deals, Exhibit 10 contracts, whatever. A lot of those guys will be in the G League this coming season. Some will be with the Hustle, and others maybe with somebody else, but they'll mostly be G League guys.
Yeah, Housen came from Iowa. Cleveland came from, was it Belmont? Something, a smaller school, right?
Cleveland is from
Liberty, yeah, okay. And Housen's from Iowa. Porter, do you know?
Justin Porter is Clemson. Javon Porter is Missouri.
Okay, that's right. They got the two Porters. So both good-sized schools, right? You're talking about Clemson, the ACC, and Missouri in the SEC. But as Eli said, those guys are fighting for getting two-way deals, whether it be, and it doesn't appear there's going to even be a spot with the Grizzlies, but looking for two-way deals, even Exhibit 10 deals in the NBA, or will end up signing and playing in Europe and making some good coin. So there's options for those guys. But the rest of the names, like you said, are names that we know from last year or are rookies this year that were drafted by the Grizzlies. You know, Hendricks, Boozer, Prosper, Coward, Small, Meshack, Kareem Lopez, who didn't play, Clayton, who didn't play. These are all guys that were either on the team or were just drafted. And then you have other guys, like you mentioned, with the center. Cooper's a two-way guy. He's already signed to a two-way. I believe Cleveland has an Exhibit 10. So there's only a few guys here who haven't even been connected to this team other than being signed to Summer League contracts. Also, go ahead.
Got a text here from Raider Corey. Says, I've never been a soccer guy, but surprisingly, I've been watching a little bit and will definitely watch again tonight. Go USA. And I'm very excited about our Grizzlies rebuild. I know it's only one game and it's Summer League. I understand.
Look, got to have some hope with the Grizzlies, and there are some good things. There are some promising things.
Again,
but they got a long way to go.
If they used that lineup throughout Summer League, they should dominate Summer League.
League.
Like that would be, throwing that lineup out there, you better look good in Summer League.
Right, but that lineup,
because that's
in an actual NBA game,
you're talking
they
about
lose a lot.
Probably at least 4 guys who will be a part of your rotation. Actually, in season, like if you're throwing that many guys out there that are a big part of your, including a couple of guys who are at least a couple of guys who will be starters, like you better look good in the G League.
No, you better look good in the G League, but even
or not in the G League, in the Summer League.
Right. But even a team like Coward, Cam Boozer, Omax, who am I missing? Small. And Hendricks. That team gets blasted in the NBA. That's why Edey is pivotal to that team. That's why some of these other guys and figure out the point guard position if it's going to be Ty Jerome. But it's a little bit different with a Zach Edey, Coward, Boozer, Ty Jerome, Wells, or Jeremy Grant lineup. Now that lineup can win some games, but still not going to win that many games. They got a ways to go. People think it's going to be this 1-year turnaround where all of a sudden they're going to go from crappy and hurt and get rid of all their big names to being competitive. I don't know what you're smoking, but they're taking baby steps. They're going in the right direction. I'm going to be excited to watch Boozer. I'm going to be excited to watch Lopez. But let's not go overboard when we see guys in the Summer League. We do it all the time.
Well, you are the master of it, so don't.
No, I'm not.
You have. Don't even try to deny that.
Josh Selby, that's the one guy. That's the one guy I thought would be really, really good, and he wasn't. That's the one guy. I learned my lesson pretty quickly with Selby. I don't do it every year, and don't even pretend I do, because I do not. Darren Peterson will be a 15-time NBA MVP after watching him play. I'm kidding, but Peterson had a nice showing.
He might be. That's
in his debut. He went for 28 points on 11 of 21 shooting, so very good shooting. 27 minutes. He did have 8 turnovers, though. And that's something you got to get that thing down. You got to protect the basketball. But the Jazz won over the Hawks. So tonight, you have the Grizzlies and the Jazz. Does Boozer play back-to-back? Does Peterson? Well, 2 games in 3 days, whatever it is. Does he play? Does Peterson play? And there's no chance Boozer is guarding Peterson, right? That doesn't make sense, right? It would be more likely a
close to
Omax. No,
Peterson will be guarded by either Small or Coward. I don't know who all Utah started.
Coward makes sense. Do you expect those guys to play tonight? Because they also have a game tomorrow.
I don't think they'll play both of these games. I don't know whether they'll play Boozer tonight, give him tomorrow off, and then again play probably a couple of games in Vegas. I don't know, depending on how they want to do that. But I don't think they will play this back-to-back. I just don't know if they'll play him tonight and sit tomorrow, or if they'll play him, sit him tonight and play him tomorrow. But I would guess they play one of the two.
Other NBA news outside of Summer League action, the Knicks have signed Andre Drummond. So no more Mitchell Robinson, but they have Drummond.
Yeah, he does a lot of the things that Mitchell Robinson does for you. Obviously, guy who's been around the league a long, long time and as big and physical as anybody. He's a hell of a rebounder. Not going to do a whole lot for you offensively, probably more offensive ability than what Mitchell Robinson had, but a much cheaper option than Mitchell Robinson that allows them to continue to at least have that backup center, because they also lost the other backup center too, so they had to go get some big out there, and Drummond's a guy that's been doing it a long time.
Hornets acquired Dorian Finney-Smith from Houston for 3 second-round picks. The Lakers, now that they have Walker Kessler, trading away DeAndre Ayton. So they had signed him, now they're trading him. He goes to the Wizards and will be the backup to Anthony Davis. So that means Jay Ham, he'll end up playing, 70 games?
70, 74, somewhere in there.
Well, they've got Sarr hurt already, so they need another big in that rotation. So
is Sarr a power forward, or because Davis will be the center, right?
I mean, it's either or.
Interchangeable, I guess. But what I'm saying is Davis will get hurt. It always happens, and Ayton will end up playing a lot more than probably what they think. Well, although he'll be a rotation guy, so he'll get a lot of minutes anyway in the rotation. You had some news from the coaching ranks. The Wizards and Brian Keefe hiring Patrick Ewing and Steve Clifford. Clifford, a former head coach in the NBA. Ewing worked on Clifford's staff, so those guys have a relationship. So big Pat Ewing and Clifford, and that's nice to see with Pat Ewing in Washington with the Wizards, having had the history at Georgetown as a player and a coach. So he's well-known and well-loved in that D.C. area. And Garrett Temple, one-time Grizzly, is joining Dusty May's staff in Dallas. He is finally retiring from the NBA, a long career, well-respected, one of the most respected players in the league, and now brings his expertise, not his experience as coaching, obviously, but his experience as a player, but his expertise and his likability. He goes to help Dusty May kind of learn the ropes of the NBA game. I think that's a great hire to get a guy who just played this past season, and you have him now on your staff. You can learn together.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if you've got one guys who can build relationship with players, as May tries to navigate that. It's a different world when you're dealing with guys making $40-50 million a year.
You like that one, Jay Ham? You like Temple?
Oh, one of the great basketball minds in general, all the way around. Comes from a great basketball lineage.
Yes, he does.
With his family and the whole deal. So.
Just a great dude. He was really, really cool here in Memphis. But they need do they have their lead assistant hired yet?
I don't think they do.
That's going to be very important, too, for Dusty May. Folks, Lawn Solutions is a locally owned weed control fertilization company that serves the greater Memphis area. Brandon Holly and his team of pros can take care of your lawn. They take care of mine. They should take care of yours as well. Go online to lawnsolutionsinc.net. Find out more about them or just call. Ask for Brandon. He'll talk to you. 901-867-5626. Locally owned, family operated. What they do is they control the germination of weeds all year long. They're applying pre-emergence during the winter months, post-emergence during the summer months. So your lawn is being taken care of, as I said, 12 months a year. What's out there? A lot of things that can kill your grass. First of all, crabgrass, dandelions, just ugly to look at, right? So from an aesthetic point of view, you don't want those. The weeds, the dandelions, the crabgrass. But things that could really do damage to your grass. The moles, the grub worms, and now these bagworms. They are destructive pests, and Lawn Solutions has a 100% success rate of getting rid of them. So let them take care of all your problems that your lawn has, whether it be weeds, crabgrass, dandelions, or all those pests that can destroy your lawn. Lawn Solutions, 901-867-5626. That's 901-867-5626, or online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. Hour 2 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Memphis is a love song to soul and style. With the full suite of sought-after designers, brilliant natural diamonds, an elegant bar, luxury VIP lounge, and more, a trip to our store is an experience like no other. Just like the city we love. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience Sissy's for yourself. Memphis is our home, and we're your jeweler.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Whether you're buying, selling, or just want a fast cash offer, call Bubba Sandifer at Emmett Baird Realty at 901-257-9420 or direct at 901-319-0747. Looking to buy? Bubba will help you find that perfect home. Thinking about selling? Don't just stick a sign in your yard and hope for the best. With Bubba Sandifer at Emmett Baird Realty, you get maximum exposure, serious buyers, and real results. Want speed? He'll buy it as is for cash. Want top dollar? He'll list it. Either way, you win. Call Bubba Sandifer at 901-319-0747.
Everyone in Memphis knows that Bell Tavern is Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar, and that Bell Tavern has a huge whiskey selection, specialty cocktails, ice-cold beer. But what those of you who haven't smartened up and visited Bell Tavern might not know is that it has terrific food. Bell Tavern has duck wings. Ever had a duck wing? It's like a chicken wing, but a lot bigger. Plus, not a lot of places have duck wings. In fact, Bell Tavern has all kinds of tasty things to share. Truffle fries, a sausage and cheese plate, jumbo pretzels. Go to Bell Tavern. Don't make me tell you again. Never underestimate the value of a gift card. A gift card is a gift that requires very little effort on your part. Take, for instance, a gift card from Sunrise. It's good, obviously, at either Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise East on Poplar, and couldn't be simpler to get. You could grab one when you're having a delicious, fast, fresh breakfast or lunch made just for you, or, and this is really cool, you can get them at Sunrise's website. Go to Sunrise's website, and you can send a gift card by email or text. You can text someone a gift card for Sunrise.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Well, good morning. As that volume of traffic increases even more now out here around that 101 connector, be careful over here throughout the day with some on and off road work on I-40 there at Watkins, passing Hollywood and Warford. It's busier than it was 15-20 minutes ago on 240 at Mill Branch. Building 240 right now northbound, especially up by Lamar, pushing up through the Midtown area. Bridal season is here. Shop local today at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
8:02 as we welcome you back to Sports 56 mornings on this Monday, July 6th, 2026. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham with you, broadcasting live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, they're at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. 73 degrees currently. Got some sunshine, but clouds on the way, and we should see some precip today, about an 85% chance of thunderstorms. We've had some boomers the last couple of nights, but not in every part of the area. But a lot of you did get some rain. Tomorrow, cloudy thunderstorms as well, about a 55% chance. We're talking about high temperatures now in the low 90s to approaching the mid-90s by the end of the week. Hour 2 of the program brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers, located at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick in the heart of East Memphis. They're on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, closed on Sunday. 60 years they've been in business serving Memphians and Mid-Southerners. From those special diamond engagement rings, wedding rings, personally designed wedding sets, to all types of other jewelry, including fine watches, necklaces, earrings, pendants, bracelets, one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. Every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know only 3 different Memphis Tigers have ever played in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Hunter Goodman, we'll talk about him later. He was selected for a second straight year. He will play as a National League reserve 1 week from tomorrow in Philadelphia. The others, Dan Uggla, 3 All-Star appearances, and former Memphis Tiger, the late great Charlie Lee, made 1 All-Star game as a member of the Montreal Expos. So there you go. James Gaddis Jewelers. Go visit James. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings.
Got a text from Reggie, 360-8255, 360-8255, the Sisters Log Cabin listener line, open to you. He said, this is sad that this is the American way. I'm American as they get, but when you put politics and cheating in sports, it's never a good thing. Let the red card stand and go play. The best team on the field wins.
I can't argue that. I mean, again, it benefits us. So I don't mind being benefited from something I think that was erroneous. But the way it happened, I'm with him. I don't like it. If that's the way it happened. But I can't see any other way. I mean, you talk about who's powerful enough to get FIFA to change something that they already confirmed and agreed upon. Sorry, whether you like the guy or not, he's got some power. He's got some clout. And so some people look at it and go differently. They'll look at it and say, well, it was the wrong call to begin with, and now they're on equal footing. So let the best team come away with the dub tonight. But Belgium is like, wait a minute here. We went in with a game plan that this dude was not playing. And now all of a sudden he's playing. So we're appealing. And they're allowing the appeal. And like you said, how quickly can they appeal, look at all that, and make a decision?
Who does the appeal go to? I assume it goes to the same people that made the decision.
I don't know if they have a different committee.
We're asking.
They have a different committee of thieves.
Will you guys change your mind? No. Okay. We tried. Great appeal process.
The appeal goes to the White House.
Like that was fun. That was fun. Fun little appeal there. Like I don't like who the hell who appealed? Who hears the appeal?
JD Vance, can you listen to the appeal?
The thing is, like it's just like anything else in sports. When it benefits your team, you're like, yeah, that's great. They made the right decision. And if it doesn't, you lose your mind. If this had been a Belgian player, if the same thing had happened and a Belgian player was reinstated, we would be losing our collective mind saying, how in the world can FIFA possibly do this? People would be going crazy. But it's for America. So yeah, it's just like anything else in college sports or whatever. Anything that happens where a decision is made that is a little bit weird, if it's for your team, great. They finally have come to their senses. If it goes against your team, what the hell are they doing? They don't have the right to do that.
I think you're right for the most part, but I think there's a little bit of a middle ground, and I think I stand on the middle ground. I'm happy that this guy is able to play because it rights a wrong. I just don't like the way it's happened. Again, I don't know for sure, but from everything we read, how it happened. I don't like how it happened. But I also don't like the fact that apparently they did not do the proper ways of looking at the VAR when they determined it was a red card. So I'm not happy with how they changed it. I am, though, obviously happy that Flo Balogun's going to be playing tonight.
See, to me, again, FIFA could have made this a lot easier.
They never make anything easy.
If they would have, literally the day after, come out, said, we've made the decision that the red card does not stand. The VAR was misused in this situation. And by the way, the officials from that game are not going to referee any more World Cup games. Something like is there any punishment? Because there has to be some reason you're saying this. The rule doesn't apply.
Woken wrote today, or he wrote about it yesterday. He says, "What was it? Corruption? ? FIFA righting a wrong? ? A favor to Trump? ? No matter how Flo Balogun's suspension got overturned, America has nothing to apologize for." And that I agree with. They have nothing to apologize for. because they, again, I think were screwed to begin with. But the way it happened just continues to add to the history of FIFA.
But here,
giving in, being on the take, being corrupt. Bottom line.
FIFA could also make this a lot easier if they just got rid of the automatic suspension if you get a red card. And the simple thing is, if you receive a red card, it will be reviewed. You might be suspended for the next game, or you may not be. It is not an automatic suspension for the next game. And then you can solve all these problems, and you look at each case separately and determine, is that worthy of a suspension or not?
It's like the Amazing Race. You may be eliminated from the race tonight. You may not. We may not. When they say that, you're not eliminated. But I agree with Eli. I agree that they could look at it it doesn't have to be under one blanket. They could look at it from case to case. So anyway, we'll have Richard Mulrooney joining us in 15 minutes to get his thoughts on the United States, the World Cup, the matchup tonight. He's the head coach of the Memphis Tigers, but also a former member of the U.S. national team from 2001 through 2004.
Another texter says, who is scoring for this Grizzlies team? Well, you hope that certainly Boozer, showing me he could score some. And
Coward
should be a pretty good scorer at the NBA level. He has scored at every level he's been at. You'd think he'd come in.
Coward
Zach
scoring.
Edey should score. If you have Ty Jerome still, Ty Jerome certainly showed last year he could score.
You don't think Coward?
Cedric Coward can score. I mean, they've some of these other guys. I mean, if Taylor Hendricks and these guys could shoot the ball, Hendricks really did a good job shooting the three last year, probably better than would have ever imagined once he came over to the Grizzlies. If he could do that type of stuff, I mean, it's the NBA. Like there's guys out there. These guys can score. They score the basketball. Like Taylor Hendricks didn't become a top 10 pick because he couldn't score. Omax was a first round pick. Like these guys have the ability to score the basketball.
Yeah, but I kind of understand what the texter, I'm trying to, from just reading, from you reading a text, to understand the meaning, but I think I get it. Because yes, while it is the NBA and most dudes can score, overall though, you don't look at that team as this offensive juggernaut. You look at them as what could be a really good defensive team and better be a really good defensive team, from man-to-man defense to collectively rebounding as a team as well as anybody in the league. But from a standpoint of just knocking down shots on a continual basis, there are some question marks. There certainly is question marks. But for them to have the success offensively, first of all, they got to figure out the point guard position. Jerome's a scorer. I think he's more of a scorer than he is a facilitator, but he can facilitate. And you're using Edey, obviously, on pick and rolls, on alley-oop dunks, and then the occasional three. But your scoring has to come from Coward, whoever that point guard is. If Jalen Wells is starting, from Jalen Wells as well, and Cam Boozer has to score. Jeremy Grant last year scored nearly 19 a game for Portland, so he can score.
I didn't even mention Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, he can score. And then you got a few guys coming off the bench. You mentioned Hendricks. There's still a couple moves. It may be just clearing out the roster to get to the 15 and the two-way guys, but there could be something else. KCP, I don't think he'll be there. But if he is, that's a 3-and-D guy who last year was not great. He's on the decline of his career. I think it's a fair question if, again, I'm getting into the intent of that text. And sure, nobody should look at this Grizzlies team and go, wow, this is a finished product. This team will be, top 4? Top 5 in the West? They're looking at this year to show life, to show that these guys can compete, that they could stay healthy, and then, boom, you're hitting the draft again. You're not tanking, unless, God forbid, they all go down with injuries again. You got 2 wins going into February. And even tanking is a problem because the bottom 3 are punished now. So we know that that's kind of out the window. But they're looking at it, I think, as a 2-year term to become a competitive team. And they've taken some good steps here, positive steps. And now I think there's more moves to come, and then they'll depend a lot on the draft. And that draft, right now, people are saying it's not going to be great. Now, compared to this year's draft, I don't think anything could be great. Anything could even be very good. But they'll be good enough where there's players in there that could become starters, frontline guys, even all-stars. And you're going to have to decipher that. But they're going to be a big part of that draft again next year. If you don't think so, then you're sadly mistaken. This team's got a long way to go. People jump. I mean, again, they go crazy from watching one Summer League game. But certainly with Cam Boozer, I don't think there's any concerns. Cam Boozer is made for the NBA. He is going to be a very, very good player. If not, maybe when it's all said and done, a great player. I'm not sold on Javon Small being the starting point guard. I think there's issues with that. And then we'll see about Edey. Edey's health is going to be the difference between whether this team will be competitive in 2 years or whether it's going to have to be another change moving forward at that position, that pivotal position. They put a lot of eggs in the Edey basket, and we'll see. If he stays healthy, they can be pretty competitive within a couple years.
I mean, again, rebuilds take time.
Right. You just can't afford to have it 5 years.
You don't trade away essentially 3 max players and expect to be great.
Exactly.
Like you're very young and it's going to take time. That's what a rebuild is. And you got to go full all in. And they've done that. Another texter says, I know it's early, but Carson Cooper looked pretty good. He could be a third big. Yeah, he'll certainly have that opportunity.
He's very serviceable. I mean, they liked him coming out of Michigan State. That's why they signed him to a 2-way. I'm sure there were other teams that wanted him. Yeah, I mean, he's a nice little player. I don't see any big-time future for him, but as a serviceable third guy, fourth guy, as far as a big, maybe.
Andrew says, hoping that the Grizz end up being this year's version of the St. Louis Cardinals, a young team that plays hard every night and surpasses expectations, play the game the right way, and might just be in contention to compete for a play-in spot. That's all we can ask for from a young team.
Damn good comparison right there. That's a damn good comparison. I did not expect it from the Cardinals. I thought that for sure they'd fire Ollie Marmol at the end of last year. They're playing very good. They got a ways to go, though. As everybody knows, they got a ways to go. That is a really good comparison if the Grizzlies could be on that Cardinals trajectory.
Wayne texts in, says, sounds to me like Belgium was outvoted by the Power 4 countries. Welcome to the group of the rest.
Nothing new on the LeBron James watch. You talk about somebody who's going to milk this thing. LeBron James. But all of a sudden now, Cleveland, not all of a sudden, Cleveland has been in the mix, but Cleveland has, in many regards, risen to the top. People think he'll end up back in Cleveland, go full circle. Philadelphia feels that they could make a run at him now with what they were able to do, bringing in Jaylen Brown. There's still the return to Miami. Golden State hasn't gone away, although it seems highly unlikely. They're not going to be able to trade for Davis. So they'll have basically Steph, and I'm sure Draymond will re-sign with them, depending on how much he wants. So that's where we stand. I don't know when that decision will be made. Nobody knows. Rich Paul doesn't know.
It looks like it could drag on for a little while, which kind of puts some teams and some players in some weird spots. But it is what it is.
How much better does he make J-Ham? How much better does he make a Philly? How much better does he make a Miami? How much does he make better a Cleveland right now with what they have?
Cleveland and Miami, I buy legitimate contenders. Philly, I'm still not sure because it's still new pieces all coming together.
Mm-hmm.
On paper, it looks cool. I trust Nick Nurse with it because Nick Nurse I look at as a mad scientist. When you give him those kind of parts, they can make it work. I'm just more confident in the Cleveland and Miami scenarios more so than the Philly.
Do you think there's no issues with Harden and Mitchell and him?
I think they can roll together. It's just a matter of LeBron accepting the role of not having the ball in his hands all the time, facilitating everything. And I think he really wants to do that. It's just a matter of being with people that he can trust to do it.
If they're able to find that chemistry, let's say he goes to Philly and they're able to find that chemistry, an Embiid-anchored team with Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, is that better than a Cleveland team with LeBron, with Harden, with Mitchell, with Allen, with Mobley?
That's tough. That's a tough call because you still got two good coaches that you're working with both of these. I like the dynamic personnel-wise, depth-wise with Philly, but I look at Cleveland and they still got two all-star caliber bigs with two all-star caliber guards who are one of the best ever in their first five, and that's tough.
Although they shrunk a bit in the postseason.
They did, but that is true. And I factor also they did shrink, but they also were coming out 2 7-game series where it just took its wear
ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Okay. Town Village Audubon Park is senior living in today's world, offering more options to fit your needs more than ever before. They're dedicated to the long-term satisfaction and the quality of life for their residents. They're located at 950 Cherry Road. That's just off Park Avenue in East Memphis. All they ask is that you're 55 years of age or older. You can call them. They'll answer any question you have, 901-537-0002. You could also set up a tour online or on the phone. Online, it's www.townvillageaudubonpark.com. Independent living, short-term respite stay, monthly options, great event schedule, activities galore for their residents. Basic services include monthly rental with no buy-in. Apartments include full kitchen, washer, and dryer. That excludes the efficiency apartments, all-inclusive resort-style dining with multiple venues, bi-weekly housekeeping, outpatient therapy, just to name a few of the services. And then the community amenities. I've talked about it so long now. I think you probably know it by heart. They got this community social area. Has a fitness center, a home theater, game rooms, indoor pool, whirlpool, bistro, fruit stand, 24-hour pantry, Village Nook convenience store, beauty salon, library, computer center. It's all right there. It's all right there. 5 landscape courtyards, resident gardening areas, recreational, religious, social, and wellness activities, a dog park where the dogs are, and gated parking for your safety. It's Town Village Audubon Park. 55 years of age or older. When you think of your golden years, think Town Village Audubon Park at 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue. Call them at 901-537-0002 or online at townvillageaudubonpark.com. Richard Mulrooney will join us next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Winton Road.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
The best clubs never stand still. Colonial Country Club has been an iconic part of Memphis golf for generations. And today, a multi-million-dollar reinvention is reshaping its future. Members enjoy championship golf and family-focused amenities, including pickleball, tennis, swimming, fitness, dining, and a vibrant club calendar. History matters. so does what comes next. Membership opportunities are now available. Visit the new Colonial.com to learn how you can be a part of Colonial's next chapter.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Well, good morning. It's busy trying to get up through Midtown right now. Pretty much on schedule. 240 north here at Lamar. TDOT's wrapping up a couple of accidents out here. It remains busy with that volume over here on 240, especially between Walnut Grove and Popular. It's heavier than it was 15, 20 minutes ago. Coming inbound on Sam Cooper, especially right when you come off the interstate. Hey, check out the animals that are available for adoption right now at the Humane Society of Memphis, Shelby County. Just log on to memphishumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Our 4th of July celebration, our 250th birthday celebration continues tonight. The United States and Belgium, 7 o'clock Central Time from Seattle in the round of 16 of the World Cup. It has been exciting. It's been a bit controversial, and it's always great to have somebody who knows the great game so well, like our next guest. He is the head soccer coach of the University of Memphis men's soccer team. 3-time MLS Cup champion. He was part of the U.S. Olympic national team from 2001 through 2004. He is Coach Richard Mulrooney. You can follow him on Twitter at RP Mulrooney. He joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hey, Richard.
Good morning. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, it's great to have you on. Like I said, we could talk about this all we want till we're blue in the face. To have somebody who's played the game at the highest level, to have somebody like yourself to talk about what we've seen is best for our listeners. So let me ask you right off the bat before we get into the controversy of Balogun and all that. You know about the national team, having played with the team in the early 2-0s. You've watched them from afar. Is this the best squad that the U.S. has ever put together?
I mean, from what we've seen, yes. You know, I still think that we've got to win tonight. And if we do that, then I think you can tack it as the best team ever, because the team in 2002 also made the quarterfinals and they ended up losing to Germany. It was either 1-0 or 2-1. So in terms of results, that team's gotten further. But if everything goes as planned tonight, which we're hoping we get the win, that team, the team tonight is probably going to be considered that much better. But I do think they've got to win tonight to overtake that 2002 team.
What makes this team good? Why are they better?
Yeah, I just think from top to bottom, the individuals that they have, and then the higher ups on the top end. I mean, you have guys that are playing at Juventus, Milan, all around England. It's just the individual accolades are there for these guys. And not only that, as we know, it's a team game because you can put a bunch of all-stars together and lose games. These guys have come together. They really have. You can tell that they fight for each other. They celebrate together. There's no finger pointing. It's truly a team. But when you do break it down, you got to have that quality to defend, to attack, and do all the intangible stuff. And these guys actually obviously have that. Are they faster than teams in the past? Yeah, the athleticism's there. It 100% is. You know, you're starting to see. I mean, I think it's an unbelievable story about Freeman. I mean, his dad's the one that's catching balls for the Packers in the Super Bowl, and yet he's playing soccer, and that's awesome. You know, we've always said, oh, if we got all the athletes, it's not always the case. Right. They have to obviously have a quality and devote themselves to it. But you're seeing one example of a father who played football. The athleticism was there. Obviously, it doesn't always trickle down, but for his son, it did. He chose soccer, and the next thing you know, he started in scoring goals for our national team. So in general, yes, it's a more athletic team from top to bottom as well.
Is there a reason why there's more of these great athletes available? Look, we're a big country. We got a lot of talent here, so I don't always buy that only the best athletes play all the best athletes play the other sports. There's still enough to trickle down to play soccer. So I've always been disappointed with where we've gone as a nation with our Olympic team and with our World Cup team. But with that said, I know that there's a lot of parents that kind of direct their kids away from football, the physicality of football, that they want them to play more of our football, or not our football, but soccer. And so maybe there's more of those athletes available. Do you buy into that?
I do. Like I said, there's more awareness in terms of injuries, and you've seen in the World Cup, there's been some bloody plays. There's been some unfortunate ankle breaks. So to say that this is a non-contact sport, that's not the case. But maybe it's a little bit more controlled. Although you're seeing, every time there's a couple head collisions in the game. So again, to say it's the safest sport, no. But I do think it's more controlled than some of the other sports, and parents push their ways to it. But I also just think that, for instance, the '94 World Cup was here. I know these kids would probably, kids that were born around that age would be a little maybe too old to be playing in this World Cup. But in saying that, just the exposure. And now you're seeing that it's here now. In 15, 20 years, these kids that are watching this on TV thinking, man, I just watched the NBA Finals. I've just been watching the U.S. Open golf. Man, the soccer's on TV. I want to do this. So, again, not that it's going to for sure grab some, but it's definitely helping the exposure of just being it on every single day for the last month. And, again, for the next 8 to 10 days that it's on, or however long it is, it's going to grab some more kids to come over to soccer.
How much of the success falls on the coaching, the style of play? How much has that changed?
The manager is everything. What he allows to go or get away with, it's on him. Some managers are very open and free in terms of, hey, practice is 8:00, be there, come up. I expect you to show up, and then when it's over at 10, have a good day. Here's your per diem and move on. Others are so hands-on that, you're not leaving the hotel. We're having team meals together or watching video. It's a matter of getting a feel for your players, giving them that freedom of, man, this isn't suffocating, this is fun, but at the same time, knowing this is a team. If the team needs to go out to a meal together and eat together to get to know each other, because, again, these guys, some live in England, Germany, the United States, it's all over. It's important to know your teammates inside and out, and there's a fine line between doing it too much and not enough, and Coach Pitino's done a good job with it. Like I said, he's taken some criticism up to this point, but the guy obviously knows what he's doing. He's managed at top clubs. This is his first international gig in terms of a national team. I think he's killed it so far, and I think there's a reason why there's talk about him signing an extension with us, because we're lucky to have someone of his caliber.
Richard Mulrooney joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, head coach of the University of Memphis men's soccer team, the former three-time MLS Cup champion, standout career, All-American at Creighton, and played for the U.S. national team from 01 to 04. You can follow him on Twitter at RP Mulrooney. All right, let's get to the controversy. Flo Balogun will be playing tonight, although the Belgium contingent are appealing. I don't know what's going to happen at this short hour, but I didn't expect the red card to be put. I don't want to say rescinded because, again, they pushed it for a year, which doesn't make sense to me. But let me get your thoughts, first of all, on the play where it ended up being a no call, and then with the VAR, they gave him the red card. And then now, this much later after that incident, being now ruled to be able to play tonight. Your overall thoughts, Richard, on everything that's gone down here?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. In saying that, I'm happy as a pig in mud that he's able to be an option tonight. I mean, he is our leading scorer. He's an option up top that I don't think guys on the bench offer, although I don't think there's a huge drop-off from our depth. But in saying that, in watching it in live play, I didn't think it was a red card at the time. I thought there's a true intention to go after the ball. The defender wasn't doing anything wrong either. They were both, it was a 50-50. The ball got tangled up underneath them. It was an unfortunate situation that his leg obviously came down the backside of the guy's calf and onto his ankle. It did. It looked gruesome. It looked worse than it was. But I don't think there was the intent there. And obviously I say that for the fact that I think the ref saw the same thing. And in the run of play, I think he had called a foul, but it was no more than that. He didn't even give a yellow. And looking back, it maybe could have been a yellow. I mean, at the end of the day, you do have to have control of your body. But I don't think he had any intent of giving a red. And then all of a sudden, the uproar from the bench, obviously the player goes down. He goes and checks VAR, and I think VAR, which people don't know, it's our video review system. I think that failed us because, again, you watch things in slow motion. It takes the context out of the actual play, and yes, you see his foot on the guy's ankle, stepping on it. Yeah, that looks bad. But if you understand the game and how it's played, that play very rarely happens, and there was no intent to it, knowing that the guy's going away from our goal. It's not like he was about to score a goal. I don't think there was a malicious intent to it. So for them to come back and give the red card, I think it was the wrong call. And obviously, we're happy that it got flipped. Obviously, wasn't expecting that. I think everybody got their text yesterday thinking, man, is this a joke? And obviously, the Belgian coach calling it April Fool's as well, thinking that, this is a joke as well. But, FIFA did it. And, there's been a little precedent. Ronaldo a year or two ago had one, like you said, sort of postponed. It's happened before. I don't think we expected this to happen, but it only but strengthens our team and gives us a better chance to win the game tonight.
And Ronaldo's wasn't in the World Cup, correct?
Correct. It was a lead into it. I think he got 3 games and they moved it down to 1. So again, I don't want to misspeak or whatever. I just remember it happened occasionally here or there, and I didn't expect this to happen. I really just thought that we didn't have him, and I think the U.S. team prepared for that. I think the Belgian team prepared for that, and now that it's flipped around, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, being a manager, you have to wear a bunch of different hats, and I'm sure, obviously, the U.S. has to change their set plays now. Obviously, the guy that was starting, I feel bad for him because this is a lifelong experience and maybe getting that start, but at the end of the day, it's what's best for our team that Balogun starts, or at least I believe he will. And then obviously Belgium planning not to play against him. But again, you weren't expecting Belgium to think that we're going to put, a bum up there that couldn't do anything. So it might change things a little bit, but I don't think this is big enough to say that that's why Belgium lost this game or that we won it. It's just that, I think the true justice came out that we get a player that probably shouldn't have been suspended in the first place.
What do you think of the rule of the red card meaning an automatic suspension? To me, I think you should be able to review these on a case by case. And there are certain red cards that would require or you would say, look at him and go, yeah, that he should be suspended. Others, like in this, you could say, well, no, even if you're going to say it's a red card, it's not worthy of a suspension. But what do you think of that rule that is an automatic suspension if you get a red card?
Yeah, I mean, it's a touchy situation. It really is. Obviously, I would say this. We got in that game. We played down 30 minutes against a Bosnian team that we were bending. We didn't break, thankfully. But in saying that game could have changed. When you play with 10 guys, and you saw it last night if you watched that Mexico-England game. England goes down a guy. I mean, they did all they could to hold off the Mexican team, and thankfully won for their sake. But in saying that, we still held on for 30 minutes against a good Bosnian team and won. So to say that we didn't feel the effect at all, we had. I mean, we almost, if we tie that game and go into overtime, we probably lose. 30 minutes with 10 guys against the Bosnian team, or any team for that matter, is a lot. So back to your point of the review for the red card, I understand it. Like I said, I don't want people to be unjustly punished for something. And then sometimes it's worse than it is. Sometimes the ref didn't see it. They go back and look at it, and then that's not only a red card, that's a 3-game suspension because he truly was maliciously trying to hurt somebody with an elbow. Or, those studs on the bottom of your feet, those aren't made of cotton balls. Those are metal and can dig into skin. So, sometimes these guys, have lose control of their bodily actions, and the next thing you know, they hurt somebody real bad. There's got to be a penalty to that, and I do think that reviews are a good thing overall.
We're in agreement on what ended up being the result with this decision because I don't believe it should have been a red card either. I think maybe they misused the VAR system. But with that said, it would be a lot easier to have an automatic appeal process right then and there. I'm not talking about during the game, but later on after the game where FIFA and their committee, whoever's looking at this, decides right there, and that's it. Instead, they don't have an appeal process, so they can't argue their point, even arguing the point that they misused the system. And then all of a sudden, what we're hearing, again, I don't know what's factual or not, is that it could have been the influence of our president of the United States. That's where I'm having a hard time, Richard. I think in the end, Flo should be playing, but I don't like what happened because all we hear about over the years with FIFA is that they are thieves, that they are corrupt. And this would favor us, but would still be corruption. And I could feel almost for the Belgians, the Belgium committee, that they were going to appeal this. It'll probably fall on deaf ears. But why is there not an appeal process right away after that call, which was so controversial?
No, great point. Like I said, I'm not sure what the protocol is, and I think that's the issue. I think there should be a transparency here of after the game, the U.S. Federation saying, you know what, we're going to appeal this, and here's what goes on from there. Whether we've got to make this, that, or the other. But like you said, when you start reading on text or whatever, our president called FIFA. No, that's he has nothing to do with this. This is his own separate entity or whatever. And honestly, if it was flipped around and you read that the Belgian president or whatever or whoever's in charge over there calls FIFA, no, that's not the way this works. So I think there needs to be a transparency. I think there needs to be an understanding of how you go about trying to rescind a red card. But I don't think it's been clear because I can't tell you. And again, I don't know everything about soccer, but I think I know enough that I can't say that I know what the rule is in terms of going back to appeal. What the process is. What's the time frame? Like I said, why was this not done? This game was 7 or 8 days ago, give or take. I mean, to find out yesterday, yes, it's great for us, but again, it changes game plans. Now that Balogun's playing, I'm assuming starting, Belgium's got to go back. Belgium's got to go back and look at how they're defending.
The game plan
within
changes.
24 hours. This should have been done a while ago. And while again, I'm happy as a pig in mud that it happened, I can see the uproar in terms from Belgium and from other teams as well, thinking that, man, if that happened to us, I'd be upset as well. So I think the protocol there needs to be more transparency. I think there needs to be an understanding of how it goes about, the time frame of it. And you know what? If it didn't hit this time frame, it's not going to happen this World Cup because this is very unprecedented. And like I said, it worked out for the U.S., and I believe it's for the better. But I don't think this is something that they want to see every World Cup or Euros or whatever it may be in their competition.
So what do you think of our chances against Belgium, a team that beat it pretty handily in a friendly not long ago? What needs to be different tonight?
Yeah, no, and I was looking that up earlier. I think we had lost 5-2, but I also looked at the lineup. I think 3 or 4 of those guys will be starting for us tonight. The rest of them, I truly think that Pochettino was getting a feel for, what do I have here? Are these guys good enough to play start in the World Cup? Are they reserves? And obviously a lot of them still ended up making the team. But I also noticed that 6 or 7 guys that are starting first now didn't play that night, and that's a difference. I mean, you take away 60 or 70% of the Knicks starting lineup or the Super Bowl champ starting lineup, you're probably not going to have the same result as you would if you started those guys. So I do expect a little more quality tonight from it. We're on a nice little roll. In terms of Belgium, this was their golden generation team, and they're getting started on the back end of that. But that doesn't mean that they're on crutches. They can't walk anymore. These guys still play. I think in general, for me, defensively that night when we played them a couple weeks ago before the World Cup, we gave up 5. We're not going to give up 5 tonight. The quality's too good for that. We give up 5, we'll lose. I think that if we give up 0-1, we can deal with that. A shutout would be great, but in saying that, it's easier said than done. We give up 1. You notice that I think we're averaging 2.5 goals a game. With one game, we're getting 4 goals. I think our firepower is going to be there. That we'll get goals, and I think defensively will be better tonight. But again, they're going to be fired up about that, and we're going to have to defend better than we did in that first game.
Last thing for you on the World Cup, every 4 years, obviously, we have the World Cup. Some people get into it, and then they just kind of forget about soccer, unfortunately. Other people don't even get into it because it's being played in the Far East or wherever. It's here in our country. It's in our North America. It's in Canada, in Mexico, and the United States. But we're the hosts. It's been exciting as heck. I think people are coming out of the woodwork that don't necessarily care for soccer that are enjoying it. Sure, there's the controversial stuff that we have with offsides and with flopping and all that. Which is, unfortunately, that's a part of the game, and look, you've lived it and you know it. But as far as what this could mean to soccer in this country, we know what the Mia Hamm team, the Olympic team for the women did for women's soccer. Do you think, Richard, that this could be a big turning point for soccer in our country with people just jumping on board, and then also all the things that are being said about our country from foreigners that have come here to watch the Cup?
Yeah, I mean, every day that we're in this, and that's why, again, you want to win just because you want to be the better team, but just another week of coverage if we were to win tonight, and then you can imagine if we were to beat and go through and beat Portugal and Spain. Every day they get more coverage. It's getting that stronger. It's a snowball right now. It's getting bigger and bigger. And like you said, there's people that maybe just haven't given it the time. Well, it's been tough not to turn the TV on, and whether you see highlights, there's a couple days where there's 4 games on TV. You just give it an opportunity. It's addicting, And in saying that, if we get that victory tonight, to have it on for another week. It's going to be something that's just, like I said, it's inevitable that it's just going to get bigger and bigger in this country. And from 94, obviously, I was a sophomore, junior in high school or whatever. That money helped set up an MLS system that, obviously, I played in. There's a lot of the MLS or U.S. national team players that have gone through that system. It built an infrastructure for us to have men's soccer. And like you said, the women's program has been dominant. They've been great. They've won World Cups. Awesome. We want that to continue. But the men's program, we've fallen short of that. And I believe this run, whether it's, and even, again, to say that we're just going to win tonight, no. You have Belgium, who is one of the top European teams. They've got top players. It's going to be tough. But just the momentum that we're building off this World Cup, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger if we were to get a victory tonight and then get to play against Spain or Portugal in our country. It's second to none. I don't think there's anything else bigger than doing this that could have built up this energy, this awareness of, man, we've got soccer in this country, and it's not going anywhere. And in fact, it's getting bigger and stronger.
When does practice begin for you guys?
We are beginning of August, so guys are just finishing up their summer league teams in the next couple weeks. Hopefully they get some time off because it's a grind come fall time. I'll get them in August 3rd. Boom, we're off and running August 4th, and then our first game is on the road at Belmont August 20th, and then we return 4 days later on a home game versus North Carolina, which is going to be a big one. But it's right around the corner, and I'm looking forward to it. I wish it was tomorrow, but saying that, as I mentioned earlier, as a manager, you need some time to set things up, and I need every single day to make sure we're ready for this fall.
Well, enjoy the match tonight, and we'll be talking to you down the road when we get the season going. He is Richard Mulrooney. He's the head coach of the University of Memphis men's soccer team. He is a M Club Hall of Famer, a three-time MLS Cup champion, and he played for the U.S. national team from 01 to 04. Follow him on Twitter at RP Mulrooney. Richard, thank you as always. We'll talk to you down the road.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Take care.
The Belgian folks have put out another statement, and every time they pass through, it sounds even more and more fishy about all this stuff.
What now? What do they say?
I won't get to that.
Okay.
It just doesn't. FIFA, shockingly enough, FIFA doesn't look real good in this whole situation.
They've never looked good.
It seems a little odd. Some odd things going on out there. Fleet Feet, that's the place to go. Get all your running gear. Go see them and make sure you can get shoes that are just right for you, for running, for walking, just for everyday wear. Especially if you're on your feet a lot, you want to make sure you got shoes that are perfect for you, and that's exactly what they can do for you at Fleet Feet. If you go see them at either the Laurelwood Shopping Center location or out in Collierville, they're at Poplar, Newson Levy, next door to the Hueys. 2 locations for them to serve you. You go in there, they take a look at the way you run, the way you walk, and they get you those shoes that are just right for you, plus all your other gear, everything else you need. They've got you taken care of. It's just all about runners, all about the running community. That's what it's about at Fleet Feet.
You're tuned into Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let Bryant Dacus and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon. Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders Roofing and Restoration. We've seen days, even what seems like weeks of soaking rain, damaging hail, and even flooding. So today, do one simple thing. Look up. If you see a water stain, bubbling paint, or discoloration on your ceiling, don't ignore it. What starts as a small roof leak can quickly become mold, turning a minor problem into a major expense. At Metro Builders Memphis, our professionals will inspect your roof, assess any storm damage, help mitigate further damage. We'll measure your roof from outer space and guide you through the repair or replacement process with an estimate on site with multiple options at that. Don't let them tell you your roof needs to be replaced when all it may need is some love. We'll give you an honest assessment so you can make the right decision for your home and family. At Metro Builders Memphis, call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717, or simply book your appointment online at metrobuildersmemphis.com.
Hello, I'm Ford Canale of Canale Funeral Directors. For more than a century, the Canale family has been honored to serve Memphis families during life's most difficult moments. In fact, Canale Funeral Directors is proud to be the oldest continually operating business in Memphis, built on a tradition of compassion, dignity, and personal service. When a family places their trust in us, we understand it's about much more than arrangements. It's about celebrating a life, honoring cherished memories, and providing comfort when it's needed most. Whether you're planning ahead or facing an immediate need, our experienced and caring staff is here to guide you every step of the way. From our family to yours, thank you for allowing us to serve generations of Memphis families with the respect and attention they deserve. Canale Funeral Directors, quietly caring since 1843.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and I may be Mr. Three-Putt and known as the worst golfer in town, but I do sell some houses for people. There are 7 keys to selling your home quickly for a really good price. First, call or email me to find out about my highly successful strategic marketing program that can help you sell your home quickly at a good price. I guide people what to do and what not to do to prepare to beat your competition. I mentioned 7 keys. Well, if you call me first, you don't need the other 6. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, call Sheldon. I may be the horrible golfer that people talk about, but I don't fool around when it involves your biggest investment. I'm here to provide answers and good advice to help you. You can reach me at 483-0546 or email me at shellrose@memphisrelocate.com. That's right, relocate is in my name. That's shellrose@memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So the Belgians released another statement saying following their previous statement, they want to publicly explain the events of the past few hours. They say after learning through media reports of FIFA's decision to lift the automatic suspension, they sent a letter to FIFA requesting a copy of the decision.
Sent a letter?
An explanation of the process that had been followed and setting out to its position regarding the applicable regulations. As its only response, FIFA sent a letter stating that it considered this correspondence to constitute an appeal, that a judge had been appointed, and that they only had a few hours to complete that appeal. No information whatsoever was provided by FIFA. For an appeal to be admissible, FIFA's own regulations state that the reasoned decision must first have been communicated to the appellant. And while we were merely seeking legitimate explanations, FIFA created an appeal and immediately ensured that it would be declared inadmissible.
What?
All of this occurred while FIFA simultaneously refused to respond to our legitimate requests. Furthermore, this is where it gets, during the match coordination meeting, FIFA deliberately removed the section concerning the automatic suspension of players from its presentation. This topic had nonetheless been part of all such meetings before each of the previous 4 matches. Belgians questioned FIFA both orally and in writing about the reasons for this change, and yet again received no response. And they say, to be clear, as of this moment, they still have not received any decision or any explanation from FIFA regarding the matter. It therefore has no alternative but to challenge the player's eligibility for the upcoming match.
What are they using carrier pigeon to send these letters?
So that's it's a little fishy when all of a sudden, like, you've been having this section in every other meeting, and then all of a sudden, like, for this one,
of course,
it just magically disappeared, and they're like, you just refuse to respond. Now, the Ronaldo thing that everybody brings up, Ronaldo was suspended for 3 games. That would have made him miss the first 2 games of this World Cup, because it was in their next to last game before the World Cup that he received a 3-game suspension. They lowered that to 1 game so that he would not miss any of the World Cup games. They missed their last, whatever, tune-up game.
Funny how that happens.
And he was able to play game 1 of the World Cup, where he originally was handed a suspension by FIFA for 3 games, which they did the same thing. They suspended 2 of the games for a year. I just understand suspending a suspension, but they suspended the other 2 games of the suspension, and so he would be able to play in game 1 of the World Cup.
Well, they just forget about suspensions. Have it like hockey. The dude commits the penalty that they believe is a red, and he goes off the field into like a penalty box for whatever time you want to put. 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Now, there's only 10 minutes left in the game. You're 10. You're going 10 the rest of the game. If it's early in the game, 30 minutes, he's in the box, then he comes out of the penalty box.
Well, we know soccer doesn't know how to keep track of time.
Well, that's true.
That's an impossibility for them.
Yeah, it happened again yesterday.
I think yellow card should be I think if you get a yellow card, you should have to go to the penalty box for a set amount of time.
The other thing, too, is, and I didn't want to get too much into it with Richard about penalties. We could talk to Lawrence on Wednesday about it. But to me, you're going for the ball. You accidentally kick the guy, and it's up his leg. You just missed the ball. But you see this guy's going for the ball. You can tell there's no intent to injure the guy. And that dude gets a red card and gets thrown out, and he's suspended for the next game. But other dudes are like grabbing jerseys and holding on to them and pulling the dude down, and they don't even get yellow cards half the time. And people argue with me that it's not arbitrary. It's freaking arbitrary. They may have something in the rule book, but I'm telling you, they go off it. They sometimes they stick to it. Sometimes they go off it. The time is arbitrary. I love what I'm watching with the World Cup. I love the World Cup, the U.S. fever, the whole damn thing. But when soccer starts again, other than, rooting for the University of Memphis, the men's and the women's and all that, I'm not dialed in. I'm just not dialed in because of stuff like this. And now this is just another story in the long history of controversial stuff with FIFA. And yes, it benefited us. Who knows? I mean, Belgium still kick our tails tonight. But it did benefit us, but I don't like the way it came about. I don't like it at all. I'd rather play them without the guy, without Flo, and see if they could beat him without him.
If they just had an explanation of why, if they just came out, it was quite simple. Just come out and say, the VAR was used incorrectly. It should not have been a red card, and therefore we're getting rid of the suspension. That's a simple explanation that while people might get angry and say, well, but you've never done this before or whatever, you could just say a rule was misapplied, and so we're getting rid of the red card and the guy can play. That's a simple thing. But they're being so shady about it and not giving an explanation that it's going to make, and again, when you're already an organization that people look at as corrupt, yes, it's never going to look good for you when you don't have an explanation other than he can play because we're suspending his suspension.
Yeah. Plus, to not have an appeal originally after the misuse of the VAR, they should be able to appeal that right away and make their argument that, look, you're not supposed to be looking at instant replay in slow motion, stills, whatever they did, whatever that argument was. But this is more like the girlfriend dumps the guy. It's like FIFA dumps Belgium. And like Belgium's trying, hey, baby, come on, man, get back with me. And they're like completely ignoring them. Completely ignoring everything they've said. No, man. Once I've dumped you, you're done. And Belgium's trying, come on, man. Here's a letter. No. Get away from me. And so, let's see. It's in the United States. You got a powerful world leader in Trump. If that is the truth, it doesn't shock me. It does not shock me that FIFA did this. It really didn't. I thought it was fake at first. Then we got the subsequent million jokes on the local judges, like the college football references. This is from Brett. He said, no doubt that FIFA is a flawed organization. There have been lots of documentation to show how they have taken bribes over the years. You can also say the NBA has done similar things with rescinding technical fouls, especially when it's a star player. We've seen this happen on multiple occasions where a suspension was due and then overturned. That was not the case for the Grizzlies win. We lost Dylan Brooks for a game in a playoff series. They make the rules to protect their stars. Yeah, I mean,
well, the NBA reviews every single technical, and there are some that are handed out, and then when you look at it, like that should not have been a technical.
Now
from everybody, but again, they're not. If you get a technical, you're not automatically suspended for a game. Like again, to me, it's just simple. Get rid of the stupid automatic suspension. Review every red card, and then determine whether it requires a suspension or not. And you've got this issue solved immediately.
Yeah, would this have happened if it was? I don't know all the guys on the team. I mean, to be honest with you, to give you a name, because to me they were all pretty much equal. With Pulisic, Pulisic was always the guy, right? Flo Balogun, I didn't know a lot about him. He's a guy who could have played for 3 different countries, played for the United States. He has 3 goals. People are making it like he's the second coming of Messi, but he's very good. He's important. But I wonder if it was a guy who's like considered the 10th or 11th best starter, if the same thing would have happened. This goes back to the text we just got about star power. I guess Flo for the United States is one of their stars. So it makes sense. Ronaldo, of course, one of the greats of all time.
3 goals in 4 games? It's pretty darn good.
Right, but he has 3 of their 10, so we make it sound like the United States had no chance to win without Balogun. And I don't think that was the case. And even with Balogun, doesn't assure a victory tonight over a good team. So we'll see what happens with these appeals. Obviously, I think they're falling on deaf ears with FIFA, and they'll play tonight, 7 o'clock, and we're all going to watch it. We're all going to enjoy it. There's going to be fireworks, no question about it. And I bet you they set records as far as television viewing is concerned. All right, we're coming right back. Hour number 3 on the way. You're tuned into Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good morning. Still busy coming down I-40 westbound right now as we check it out live, passing Germantown Parkway all the way down to Sycamore View Road. It's crowded. Certain sections of Sam Cooper, especially right when you come off the interstate. They're coming inbound on Sam Cooper, heavier than it was 15, 20 minutes ago, up through the Midtown area, 240 north here at Lamar. Hey, bridal season is here. Shop local today, and you'll be glad you did because you always save money when you go there first to Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Memphis's original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:04 the time, hour 3 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Monday, July 6th, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Jay Ham with you, broadcasting live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. If you need something for the summer, whether it be a beautiful in-ground pool or patio furniture or anything else that is associated with the summer months, you need to stop by Family Leisure. Check them out at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. That includes all your pool supplements, all the things you need for your pool. Keep that pool clean. It's all right there at Family Leisure. 78 degrees, but it already feels like 94. Another hot, humid day, and that's going to bring about showers. Although the percentage is down from 85 to 70, there's still a 70% chance today of thunderstorms, 55% chance tomorrow. High temperature today, 89, so that should put you around 100 for the heat index. 90 tomorrow, and then it will incrementally move up as the week progresses. 90, 93, 94 degrees by the end of the week, with about, again, a 55, 60% chance of precip each and every day. With the humidity, that normally brings about some thunderstorms. We can take your calls and texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. There's a number of different topics that we still have not addressed yet, but one final thought, well, I'll say final, but we'll still talk about it, I'm sure, if we get texts and calls. But I've gotten a few texts about why they believe they changed the deal with Flo Balogun. And yes, I've talked about this before. I understand, and Richard Mulrooney was just talking about it, why they screwed up, why it should not have been a red card, why they misused the VAR. The problem is that there was no appeal process available. So even though they got screwed, there was no appeal. That was the situation. It's weird that Belgium can appeal the change in the red card, or at least the what are they calling it? The temporary 1 year?
The suspension.
Suspension was the word. So they can appeal that, but nobody could appeal the decision for the red card after the look at the VAR viewing. So that's the problem. That all of a sudden now, several days later, just like that, drop of a hat, it changed. And now he's available. And people talk about the influence of maybe the White House and President Trump. A lot of people saying that. A lot of people in the know. So that's the problem. It's not, again, we all know why it should be changed, but without an appeal, you never get to that point.
That's Arthur texted. He says, to me, they got it right. It should never have been a red card. This is coming from 37 years of playing and some time as a referee. It should have been a yellow card.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, again,
but there was no appeal process.
It all comes to these. I guess the question is, do the end justify the means?
For the U.S.,
and if it benefits your team, you'll probably generally answer that with yes.
Yeah, right.
If it goes against your team, you will probably generally answer that with a no.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, Americans are going to say, yeah, I mean, that in the end, it's the right thing happening. He's playing in the game, which he should have been able to play in from the beginning. But again, if you're on the Belgium side, you're like, wait a second, what the hell? Like, what? Why in the world would you suddenly decide to change this now after all of this time? You just make this random decision to not have him sit out. And so I certainly can understand both sides of it. And it's
unprecedented in the history of the World Cup. Unprecedented. So again, FIFA doing FIFA things.
It is a somewhat different situation, but again, they just literally suspended a suspension for Ronaldo to allow him to play in this World Cup.
Yes, but it wasn't actually during the World. I was just making the point. It wasn't actually while the World Cup was going on. So this is a precedent in the World Cup. But you're right. It happened in Ronaldo to allow him.
World Cup.
He would have missed games. But again, that's that star power that Brett had texted in about. All right, moving on. Hunter Goodman. Congratulations to Hunter Goodman, friend of the show. He's been on with us multiple times. The former Memphis Tiger standout, Arlington High School standout, named to the National League All-Star Game for a second straight season. 27 home runs. And for those who say he's taking advantage of Colorado and the thin air, no, he leads all home run hitters with home runs away from his home ballpark. So Hunter Goodman's mashing most of his home runs on the road. 51 RBIs, had a couple more hits yesterday and a run batted in. It's got the average over 250 now. But Hunter Goodman will be headed to Philadelphia next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. And I do believe Hunter Goodman will end up getting picked for the home run derby. That hasn't been decided yet, right? And this is not from Hunter. I didn't text him or anything. I just got a feeling they're going to pick him. It makes sense. He's third in the majors in home runs. There's some guys that have already said they're not going to be participating. I don't think they've announced it yet, so keep an eye on that for Hunter Goodman, but he's headed to the All-Star game. 4 Dodger starters made the All-Star team, National League All-Star team, and 5 overall players from the Dodgers. Some say they still got snubbed, a player or two. The Phillies and the Braves, they each landed 5 All-Stars. The Blue Jays, the Rays, and the Yankees with 4 each. Vlad Guerrero Jr. won the American League first base starting job and then opted out. He says he's dealing with back, but he could play if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to. He wants the time off to rest and relax. So no Vlad Guerrero Jr. Nick Kurtz will replace him in the starting lineup, the Oakland A's young star. Aaron Judge won the vote as a starting outfielder for the American League, but he's injured. He'll need to be replaced. There are others that will be replaced. And I know there's some big snubs, including Sonny Gray, the one-time Cardinal, who's 10-1 with a bad Red Sox team, with a 2.61 ERA and is somehow not on the All-Star team. I guarantee you he will be when it's all said and done because we know all the pitchers that end up bailing. What were your thoughts on the All-Star selections as starters and then the replacements?
Well, Vlad Guerrero is not having nearly an all-star year, so it kind of works out well that he's not going to play in the game. The Sonny Gray one, there's people making a big deal about Wilson Contreras as well from the Red Sox, but Sonny Gray, I can't comprehend how Michael Wacha is on there ahead of Sonny Gray. Does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Brandon Lowe in the National League, who's 5th in home runs and 3rd in RBIs, to not make it is also a little surprising. I don't know how that's possible, but, obviously it's always a difficult task to try to put this. You're always going to have some guys who get snubbed for this, but, it is what it is, and that's going to happen. And as I said, for pitchers especially, there's a good chance anybody who's snubbed as a pitcher will end up making the roster because they're going to need guys because of the pitchers who will pitch on Sunday and who will automatically drop out of the game. So for them, it's a little different than some of the position players who could have had an opportunity to get there. But you got 26 first-time All-Stars. Yeah. I think it's great to get a lot of new guys in the game, and that's fantastic.
They went back to wearing their old uniform, their team uniforms from their teams that they played for last year. So they'll do that again, which I absolutely love. My favorite part of the All-Star game is the introductions. Now, speaking of the injured pitchers. Ranger Suarez had to leave his start yesterday with left adductor tightness. So who knows? Maybe he'll be out. If he's out, it just makes sense. Then Sonny Gray, fellow Red Sox pitcher, gets the call if Suarez would not be available to pitch in the All-Star game. And we'll find out, as you said, because a lot of guys with the schedule who pitch on the Sunday will not be able to pitch in the All-Star game. But the All-Star game is 1 week from tomorrow in Philadelphia, Citizens Bank Park, and the Home Run Derby will be 1 week from tonight, which, again, the final participants have not been announced.
We have some Grizzlies news. We had a text about this, what was it, last week or whatever, asking about the Grizzlies and Quentin Post. And the Grizzlies have signed Quentin Post to a 3-year, $30 million offer sheet, according to Shams. The Warriors, he is a restricted free agent, so the Warriors can match that. They have until basically midnight tomorrow night, Tuesday night, to match the 3-year, $30 million offer. But the Grizzlies signing Post to that offer sheet, and we'll see what the Warriors do.
Well, what did that texter know that we didn't know, unless there was a rumor out there that they saw? I like Quentin Post. I don't know how many times I played Quentin Post to hit 3 threes and won a lot of times with Quentin Post. Last time, this is interesting. Last time an offer sheet went unmatched was in 2020. It was Bogdan Bogdanović, the one that was with Sacramento, and Atlanta put the offer out there and they didn't match. Sacramento didn't match. Last time a player signed an offer sheet of $5 million plus per season was DeAndre Ayton with Indiana in 2022. So interesting. Quentin Post
averaged 7.7 points per game last year, 4 rebounds, playing 17 minutes a game. Pretty similar numbers each of his first 2 years in the league, averaging 16, 17 minutes a game, right around 8 points, 4 rebounds per game.
He's more of an outside big, is he not, Jay Ham?
Yeah, he's more of a stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, stretch guy.
So, assuming people are healthy, Edey's in there, he comes out of the game, that's beef stew, right? That's his spot. Boozer comes out, you're going with Hendricks? Or now you go, if and again, they'll probably match, but if they don't, and you get Quentin Post, you going with Post? And that's another player you're adding. You're already, 3 players over the max? We know there's moves that they have to make, obviously. Interesting. And by the way, today being the 6th of July, today those deals, like the deal with Detroit for beef stew, can become official, can be announced. So we expect that to happen sometime today. I'm not sure when, what time during the day. Interesting, I would say. I guess they need another big, right?
In this league, can't have too few.
And again, there's always that concern. I'm sure they have the same concern that I do and many, many other people do about Edey. Let's see what Edey could do, how many games Edey could play, because your whole future depends on him. All right, so we talked about the All-Star game. There will be, I'm sure, a lot of changes coming up this week as far as that is concerned. Yesterday in the majors, I hate this, but I guess there was already the game plan, so I understand it. Yuri Perez had a perfect game for the Marlins through 7 innings. He had struck out 8. He had only thrown 92 pitches. But the game plan was for him to be pulled when he hit 90. So manager Clayton McCullough pulled Perez after 7 perfect innings. The Marlins would end up winning that game, but it ended up being a shootout, didn't it, Eli? Wasn't it like they came back on him? I forget who they were playing. Look this up, but
it was Oakland. Yeah, the pitcher that they brought in the game, it didn't get anybody out. They gave up a grand slam, and they end up winning by 1.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, yeah, it ended up 9-8. The guy's perfect through 7 innings. Perfect game. They pull him. They hang on. They win 9-8. So again, I understand to a certain extent. I don't think his arm's going to fall off if he throws another 15, 20 pitches, but I'm not the doctor.
How soon does he make everyone mad for refusing to come off the bump in a situation like that? He's cooking. Let him cook.
Yeah, but he was in agreement with it.
Yeah,
So he was fine
He
with it.
knew the plan going in. It's always third start back from injury.
Nobody expected this guy to throw a perfect game through 7.
You said it was his 3rd start back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And he was going.
And his numbers weren't great anyway, right? He's not a great pitcher.
He was in a groove yesterday.
So he's like, yeah, I'll go 90. Man, I hope I get the 90. And he's there at 92. He's throwing a perfect game through 7. But he didn't back out of it.
He's supposed to go with a FIFA right there. Nope, not coming out.
I'm telling you, I'd be either the greatest manager ever or the worst manager in the history of baseball. Because my guy, man, I'm riding that guy. He's going to complete that game. I can't even imagine. Could you imagine telling Bob Gibson, you're off the bump after 7 perfect innings?
Bob Gibson scares me on old videos.
Bob Gibson old scares me.
You know what I'm saying?
Not
I can
even old
imagine
video.
what it would be like in real time trying to deal with Bob
I mean, he'd
Gibson.
punch your lights out. Get the hell! I'm leaving the mound. Man, you gotta be crazy. I'm not giving you the ball.
I think of that, though, and I immediately think of Roger Dorn not coming out of the game on Major League. Like, nope, refuse.
That's true. But yeah, got through 7 perfect innings and got pulled, and they hung on there and won it 9-8. All right. Couple other things before we take the break. Memphis basketball, according to Jason Munz over the weekend, Nemanja Popovic on campus, cleared for practice. So anybody that was worried about the 5-for-5 and all that jazz, Popovic on campus on campus, cleared for practice. I'm sure they're doing the summer classes. All 15 guys are accounted for, and that's great news for Penny Hardaway and his team. At the Wimbledon Championships, we don't talk a lot of tennis, but Naomi Osaka upsetting the number 1 seed, Arina Sabalenka, to reach the quarters. Not only is she a fancy, snazzy dresser, but coming back from her pregnancy and all that time off for the baby, Osaka looking good. Coco Gauff also into the quarters for the first time at Wimbledon in her career. And congratulations to Padraig Harrington. He wins the Senior U.S. Open. He goes back-to-back, now has 3 Senior U.S. Championships. He's the best player on that tour. And Chris Gotterup, Eli, shoots a 62 on Sunday to finish at 20 under, wins the John Deere Classic. We had the meltdown by Knowles there at the end. Was it Knowles? Coles. And but Gotterup, 3rd win already this year for Chris Gotterup.
Yeah, he's having a hell of a year, and this week he goes to defend his title at the Scottish Open. But man, Ben Coles, got a feel for that dude. That is 2 times on tour that he has gone to the 18th hole on Sunday with a chance to win a tournament and completely choked both times that he's had a chance.
Put it in the water, right?
Did it yesterday, hit it in the water, which nobody was hitting it in the water. Like nobody at all.
Gosh.
Hits the ball in the water there. Like it just, and I mean, he had like basically a wedge in his hand and just pulls it way left. He did it a couple years ago at the Byron Nelson where he made a bogey because he basically chunked a chip shot on that last hole and made bogey to lose. He's won on the Korn Ferry Tour. Like he's at least proven the ability to win golf tours. He's got like 5 Korn Ferry Tour wins. But for whatever reason now on the PGA Tour, boy, next time he gets a lead going to 18 or anything like that again, you got to wonder, man, that's 2 just complete disasters on 18 with chances to win golf tournaments.
That's when you may need to hire the sports psychologist if he doesn't already have one.
I'm guessing he probably does. I'm guessing after the first time. Because I believe in the first one when he did that, like he was like maybe the only person or something like that to make bogey on that hole that day. Like it's a par 5, easy par 5, and he's like makes bogey to lose. And that one actually had a 1-shot lead. This one, he was tied. He needed to make birdie to win, or at least, but he would go to the playoff, and he just awful swing.
Yeah, just from a mental, obviously he has the talent. As you said, 5 wins on the Korn Ferry Tour, but my gosh, you start to lose the way you lose, breakdowns on the 18th, mentally, you may be shot. Hopefully this guy can bounce back from that. Folks, take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis, a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant objective feedback with hands-on one-on-one expert coaching. What you're doing is you're learning from coaches that have been at every single level, including the NBA. You're getting into these shooting bays with the Shoot 360 technology. Not only volume, are you getting so many shots up, and with practice, you would hope comes very much improvement, but you also get instant feedback. So every time you put up a shot, you can see the analytical information that's right there for you, arc and depth and everything else you need to know what you need to do to become the better shooter, plus with the help of the coaching. You can't beat that two-edged sword. You're getting it from both the coaches and from the analytical information. That's what you get at Shoot 360 Memphis with 2 locations in Collierville, 85 Market Street. That's basically the shooting bays right there. They also have volleyball facilities and things of that nature. But if you want everything else, you go to Cordova. Big Orange Road, that's where they have the 50,000 square foot facility. The regulation size NBA courts, they have 2 of them, 3 high school size courts, 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. They got leagues going on. They have all kinds of events going on. For coaches, they offer free coaching clinics. Just call them to find out when the next one is being offered. But for you folks out there, join on a monthly basis. So try it out. Try it out for the month of August, month of July, whatever the case may be. And I'm telling you, you're going to fall in love with it, and you're going to want to join for longer. If not, you're only in it for a month, so you can't go wrong. And it's a good deal, nevertheless, to get out there and get your shots up. 85 Market Street in Collierville, 901-316-5500. In Cordova, Big Orange Road, 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here at Shoot 360 Memphis. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Looking for that perfect piece that says forever? As did Grammy winner Lainey Wilson for her engagement. Discover the elegance of Holly Winter fine jewelry in Germantown. From stunning custom designs and engagement rings to timeless gifts she'll treasure for years, Holly Winter offers personalized service and beautiful fine jewelry for every occasion. Visit Holly Winter Fine Jewelry at the Shops of Forest Hill on Poplar, where Memphis finds sparkle, style, and something truly special. Holly Winter Fine Jewelry, 9155 Poplar, Suite 18.
Hi, I'm Ryan Saharovich, a proud partner with NST Injury Attorneys. For over 35 years, we've been fighting for Memphis families after serious accidents when insurance companies are trying to pay as little as possible. We don't back down. NST is the way to go.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg that the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, 'cause now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Rebel Nation, get the latest on everything Ole Miss sports with the Cannon Motors of Mississippi Rebel Yell Hotline. Join Rebel insiders Chuck Rounsville, Yancey Porter, and Gary Darby Monday nights at 6 as they break down the latest with the Rebels, along with even more insight from special guests. Rebel Yell Hotline, Mondays at 6 p.m. on WHBQ.
Stay up to date with everything going on in Ole Miss athletics with Rebel Yell Hotline every Monday night from 6 to 7 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, come hang out on the back porch. An hour full of the hottest topics and important people around the SEC and only the SEC. The Back Porch, Saturday morning at 10 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings. Good morning! On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:28 is the time. If you want to hit us up on Grizzlies Summer League, talk some soccer, USA and Belgium tonight with the decision allow Flo Balogun to play for the United States. You can hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. So Quinton Post, according to reports, 3 years, $30 million offer sheet. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And how long now does Golden State have to match?
Till midnight tomorrow night. Which they extended Porzingis and they re-signed Horford, right?
Yes.
So,
and they still got to figure out Draymond Green.
Yeah, I mean
but I mean they're going to have to give more.
That'll be simple. That's just they got to wait for LeBron because they're doing the salary cap gymnastics with that. But I don't know how this plays into the LeBron thing either. Like I don't know if they can afford to commit that money to Quinton Post right now before LeBron makes it. I don't know how that would change, if it changes at all, what they're able to allow. But already having Porzingis and Horford, I would think there's a chance that they don't match that. I don't think they can pay Quinton Post $10 million a year.
I don't think they do it either.
Here's what Kevin
Especially if they think they're going to get LeBron. Right. Like they certainly can't. I don't think they could have him at $10 million a year.
I don't think they're getting LeBron.
And get LeBron and then once they re-sign Draymond, be able to stay under the second apron.
Here's what Kevin O'Connor says. He says, savvy move by this guy loves the Grizzlies. Like everything in this offseason that he has loved. Savvy move by Memphis to put pressure on Golden State with this offer sheet. Quinton Post got way better defensively in year 2 with the Warriors, and I believe in his three-pointer. Would be a loss if they don't match it, and a perfect backup to Zach Edey if he goes to the Grizzlies. So if he's the backup to Edey, where does Beef Stew fit in all this?
Right next to him. You can play them together.
But you got Boozer.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to mix and match those combinations.
So Post would be more the backup of the 5 and Edey and Beef Stew of the 4.
You'll see them all in those different combinations.
But what about Hendricks?
He'll fit in there. It'll be a matter of, I think, who's available, who's in foul trouble, who's playing well. You know?
All right, so let's look at this here. All right, I am trying to write this down here. So let's say they got Post. And now you're talking about Post in the Post. No, you're talking about Edey, Post, Isaiah Stewart, Taylor Hendricks, and Cam Boozer. 5 on the front line. You have the kid from Michigan State who would be a two-way guy, who is a two-way guy right now. He's a big, but a backup that would play in South Haven. Now, let's look at the wings. Coward and Jeremy Grant and Wells and Gigi Jackson. Help me out here, guys.
You're cooking.
So, Chris Murray's not going to be on the team, right?
Nah.
A.J. Johnson's not going to be on the team, right?
Probably not.
And nor is the old big guy, Gibson. They'll be all gone, right? KCP.
Probably won't be there either.
Okay. But right now he is.
Right.
So that's 5 wings. Am I missing anybody of subsequence? Kareem Lopez. That's 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're up to 5 and 6. That's 11. Again, that's still with KCP on the team. He's under contract, and that's with those other 3 guys gone. So that's 11. Now you get to your guards, and you're talking about Wells is 12 because I already put Coward on the wing. Yeah. Wells a wing, but I didn't count him.
Okay.
So that's 12. Pippen 13. Jerome 14.
Yeah, 4 point guards basically.
Clayton 15. Small 16, Meshack 7. I mean, these are guys that were two ways, but those are guys that are also in the mix. Richie Saunders, who will probably start out, I would imagine, as a two-way guy, right, Eli, in South Haven, once he's healthy. You're not going to give him a regular contract, right? Or are you?
They've got to make decisions. Again, they've got 3 two-way guys right now, so they've got to.
So that's 8. Now I'm up to 18 guys, and I've already cut Murray, Johnson, and Gibson. That's if they were able to get Post. So there's still another move that would have to be made. And if they don't get Post, what other direction are they going in? What's left out there from a big standpoint? And 3 years, $30 million, that's a big commitment right there. Is there anybody else that you think would be in their vision? If they really believe that one more big is needed, which probably is, what direction do they go in now?
This if Golden State matches the Quinn Post.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you're basically saying you need another one of those bigs and a versatile big that can go out and shoot threes. If you're saying that and they match, then you're still going to look for something else, right?
For me to find out who they would go get would require a Waldo-style search.
Yes.
At this point.
Well, I'm trying to think of the bigs that were on that list of free agents. And he was, I remember saying Quentin Post, RFA, and some of the other bigs, Andre Drummond, who's now with the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, who went to Boston. I don't even know what else is out there. I mean, obviously there's guys that are wings, 3/4s that are still available that are pretty good, like Rui Hachimura, but Memphis has a plethora of wings. And then Kuminga, but I'm talking about legit centers that are still available. So that's still, again, taking liberties of cutting these other guys. That's still a couple of more guys than you can have on your roster. 2-3 guys. So what do you think, Eli, about Post? Do you think they get him?
Again, I think it will be hard for Golden State to pay him $10 million in where they sit. And again, with the idea that they are still pursuing LeBron, I guess I don't know for sure exactly where it all stands and the order of operations and all that, how they could do it. But I don't know if that affects what they can offer LeBron or not, if they have to match that deal. But that would be, I don't know. Yeah, that'll be probably pretty close, whether they will be able to match that or not.
This story, and I'm sure it's incomplete with who's available, but they list centers that are still available, and it has to be updated because 4 of them have been picked up. Jalen Duren, restricted free agent. Detroit's going to match no matter what. Drew Eubanks, is he a center?
Mm-hmm.
He's on this list. Nick Richards. Does Nick Richards do anything for you? That's all I see on this list here. But again, this is just somebody's guess.
Yeah, most of the guys I'm seeing, they've already committed elsewhere.
Yeah, Sandro went to the Lakers, and of course they got Walker Kessler. Mitchell went to Boston. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see which direction they go in if they feel that they're a big down.
Especially, just because they're signing it doesn't mean like they're like, we have to have a big. They just like Quentin Post and like, okay, well, and again, it does, it puts a little pressure on Golden State to make some decisions. And you may make Golden State commit money that they don't want to commit.
What,
right
you're playing the game because you're worried Golden State gets LeBron? And there's like 8 other teams you should be worried about ahead of them in the West.
It's the idea that because of the situation Golden State's in, they may not be able to match this guy. So we like him. So we can come in now because of what they're trying to do. They may have to pass on matching it.
Yeah, that's true. Sean Sweeney, the rookie head coach at Orlando, has announced his staff. A couple of the names include former Grizzly assistant Greg Buckner, was played for Clemson, I think, back in the day in college. Is that right? Popeye Jones. John Harris on that staff. And some other names that I've never heard of, including Riley Crean. Related to Tom Crean?
Yes, I believe it. I believe it. Is it?
Is it? Is that his son?
Crean's son? I think it is.
Okay.
I'm not positive of that, but I think that is.
Yep, that's Tom's son.
Because I thought he had a son in coaching.
All right. Folks, it's breakfast time. I understand that. Later today will be lunchtime. Then it'll be dinner time. That's how it usually works. Breakfast first, lunch, and then dinner. Sometimes you have brunch. Sometimes you skip breakfast, and then you're starving.
Some people have breakfast, then dinner, then supper, though. So
that could happen too.
I fall in that category.
That's how I grew up. We lunch wasn't a thing. We had dinner and we had supper.
We just eat.
Yeah, mine's all screwed up now with my work hours.
But I also drank pop.
Soda, baby. And pop.
My southern boy, that's drink to us.
or the people that say Coke. They they go to the store and they order a Coke and the dude gives them the Coke can. They go, no, they point to the orange.
They want the pan of orange, that's right.
You said Coke, man. It's like pop or soda. I will accept pop. I'm not accepting soda. I mean, I'm not accepting Coca-Cola as everything. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, they have Coke. They have Coke products over at Corky's. Corky's for lunch, Corky's for dinner. Always a great option for Corky's. You can dine in at one of their 4 establishments in the Memphis area. That's Poplar Avenue in Memphis. That's in East Memphis. Poplar Avenue in Collierville. Germantown Parkway in Cordova. Goodman Road in Olive Branch. When you go for lunch or for dinner, get your entree, add a third of a rack of ribs for $7.99. You can't beat that. Get a taste of those ribs. They're so good. They've been serving up that delicious slow smoke barbecue for 40 plus years. Lunch specials every day. Party packs that start at just $7.99. You want your lunch or your dinner delivered to your home or office? You can do that. Corky's will take care of that for you for just $3.99. And if you have an event you want it catered, Corky's can cater it for you no matter how large that event is. They have cater some big events. It's catered. It's catering from Corky's. It's delicious slow smoke barbecue from Corky's. When we get to the holidays, it's those hams and turkeys from Corky's. It's all about Corky's. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com.
Check it out. Central Barbecue has an app.
Hey, let me see it.
Don't just grab somebody's phone. Jeez.
Okay, then just show it to me.
See?
Oh, wow. Simple, straightforward.
I know. Just tap on the Central Barbecue app, and you can order from any Central Barbecue.
Oh, they've got all 4 locations. They got downtown, Poplar, Summer, and even South Haven.
Yep. Place your order on the Central Barbecue app, and it'll be ready when you arrive. Your food will be ready in 10 minutes, and there are no extra fees for using the app.
Now, that is a sweet deal.
It is a sweet deal.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals? They start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Morning!
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:43 the time. So I was reading Bobby Marks, Memphis Grizzlies offseason, whatever he does with this thing. It's over, half of it's over my head, but I'll just read it to you. He said, this is Memphis and their roster pre-offer sheet to Quentin Post. The likelihood is the Isaiah Stewart trade from Detroit and the Santi Aldama trade to Dallas is tied into one. That would preserve part of the $15 million non-tax mid-level exception to use for the Quentin Post offer sheet. You understand all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They also still own that, is it $28.9 million trade exception? Is that what it is?
Something like that. It's somewhere in that range.
But they can only use that for a year, right? They only have that in their pocket for a year, correct?
Yes, I believe the trade exceptions are 1 year from, so it would be 1 year from the Jaren trade.
So they got the non-tax mid-level, $15 million. They got the biannual, which is $5.5 million. They got the veterans minimum, and then they got that trade exception. Or do they have two trade exceptions? It says 28.9, then it says 17 million. Do they have two?
Yes.
So they have two trade exceptions that they have to use within a year, like you said. They have right now 15 guaranteed spots, 3 partial guaranteed, 3 two-way guys. There has to be, and the Quentin Post thing would add and make it 16 guaranteed. Other than just a couple of outright releases, and I still think there's something that's going to happen. I just don't know what. I just don't know what. And this goes back to our texter. Shooting. Yeah, they got some shooters. They got guys that better be able to shoot the rock or they're going to have trouble. Does Jalen Wells start? Does Jeremy Grant start? That seems like it's going to be a question going into camp. Are they going to be able to get that extra big guy? The Isaiah Stewart trade should be announced, I would think, sometime today. And then where are they going with the backup? Where are they going with the point guards? Not the backup, but where are they going with the starter? Is it Jerome? And then Pippen coming off the bench? Didn't even mention Cam Spencer earlier, who was obviously one of their better shooters. Then you still have Kareem Lopez, Gigi Jackson, Omax, Taylor Hendricks. The two-way guys right now are Cooper, Small, and Meshack. Small, I think, will definitely get a standard, wouldn't you think?
At some point, certainly. I think he will this year. But if they get Post, my guess would be either Omax or Hendricks ends up gone. I still think there's a good chance Walter Clayton Jr. is gone.
I do too.
Along with Gibson, Murray, Johnson, maybe Caldwell Pope if they can figure out a buyout that works. I mean, there are plenty of options to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah, but still moves to come.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they use that trade exception to take on somebody's terrible contract and get some assets for it.
I would think that'd be a good guess on your part.
Especially if there's some of these teams who are out there in the LeBron sweepstakes that are trying to figure out ways to be able to pay him a little bit more, and they may need to unload a bad contract.
Speaking of contracts, Kawhi hires a new agent for his next deal. He's now in a new country. He's staying as far away as he can from all the controversy. What was that company called again? I forget every time. Do you remember, Eli, the company that...
Was it Endeavor or...
No, it wasn't Endeavor.
I don't remember it.
I can't remember either.
But it's just funny. It's like...
The Tree Company is what I remember. Yeah.
the arborists.
So he's looking, obviously, to sign long-term with Toronto, and we'll hire a new agent to help him do that. Other than that, for basketball, looking forward to watching if he plays Darren Peterson tonight. I didn't watch him in game one. I would think that tonight, because it would be it's not back-to-back nights, it's second game in 3 nights, that Peterson plays and Boozer plays. How much they play, that's a whole different question. But I think they play, and then they don't play tomorrow, and then they'll be ready to go in Vegas. That would be my guess.
Yeah, they get their light work in, get them out the way, so they won't, be susceptible to any more type of injury or anything like that. Just let everybody see some work and get them out the way.
Isn't it crazy though? In the past, you would say, "Hey, man, let's get them into that 4 games a week type mode that they didn't have in college necessarily. So let's have them play all these games, and they'll be used to it." Instead, now it's still making sure with the paranoia of injury that we treat them with a kid's gloves.
I mean, and aren't they going to Vegas as well?
Yes, so they're all going to Vegas.
So they'll spread these out.
Oh, there's no question. That's why they have a large roster. Yeah. I don't know if you're limited on how many you can have on your roster or not, but
I don't think so. They don't even count fouls in summer league. You can have 19 fouls, personal fouls.
They played everybody on their summer league roster. The Grizzlies did, except for Kareem Lopez and Walter Clayton Jr., who are both out with injuries. I saw that Lopez story, though, and I went to Michael, and I go, "Oh, come on, man. Come on. Come on. He's been in Memphis a couple of days. He's already out."
All it takes is a couple of days, Greg.
Jeez. I'm like shaking my head when I saw that. But he's out there shooting yesterday in practice, and he's ready to roll. Hopefully he'll play in Vegas. I want to see him play. I think there's a lot of people right now that they're doubting Lopez. They're doubting him because they didn't see him. And I'm not doubting him, but I'm putting my faith in the people that did see him, that think so highly of him. So I'm not going to sit there and go, "Yeah, man, this guy's going to," because I didn't see him with my own eyes.
One of the guys they passed on for him, and Cameron Carr had a good first game for the Lakers.
He did. But again, it's summer league. It's one game. I mean, Darren Peterson, people are going nuts over him, and he committed 8 turnovers, for goodness sakes.
And in your defense, Josh Selby did win summer league MVP that
He did. He did. I love me some Josh Selby. And the other guy over the weekend from the Salt Lake Summer League he was in the California one, I believe. And that's Acuff. Right? Playing for Sacramento. And Acuff put up, I think, 25 points. But it was high volume shooting. I think he took 29 shots. And so people were like, being negative about him. I'm thinking to myself, he still scored 25 points.
I mean, it sounds like what is going to be on brand with playing for the Sacramento
That's exactly
Kings.
Right. That's why, Acuff, I don't know about Rookie of the Year and all that, but he's going to have the numbers because he's going to have the volume shooting. He's going, unless he gets hurt. Again, it's all with a caveat of staying healthy. He's going to put up some huge numbers for Sacramento, I think.
He'll have a chance. He's going to be on the floor a lot. I mean, but yeah, I mean, again, you don't want a guy taking. You would hope that a guy that is supposed to be as good as he is would be more efficient than that in summer league, playing against a bunch of guys who are generally not going to be NBA players.
Right. Who do you think?
But again, it's game one. Like it's one game of, I don't know how many summer league games he'll play again. A lot of these guys will play 2 or 3 games and that'll be it. And they'll be done. Others will play more. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know how they all want to handle that, but, this is just a dip your toe in the water and see.
This dude who's an NBA salary cap analyst, I never heard of him until maybe 2 weeks ago, but seems like he knows what he's talking about. His name is Yossi Goslin. And he said with Quentin Post, this contract for Quentin Post will go into the Grizzlies' mid-level exception. If matched, it'll be replenished for different moves. If unmatched, they'll need to acquire Isaiah Stewart with the big $29 million trade exception or by expanding the Santi Aldama trade. What's that mean? Add more pieces into the Aldama trade? Because that's not yet
it's just to put it all as one trade. They're sending out Santi and getting Stewart instead of, that's what Bobby Marks said also, that there's a good chance that's going to happen to that. And when the Santi trade was originally agreed to, people thought that could easily just become one big trade to make it all work accounting wise.
Look, I have my criticisms of Kleiman, just like the next guy, but Kleiman and Marks, who's a former GM, and other GMs, they have to be capologists. It is so far over my head, this stuff, that those dudes are brilliant to come up with what they do. I'm like, what the hell are they even talking? Are they speaking English?
Right. I try to find as much of the layman's that I can find from it and just pull from it from that way and go forward. But like you said, it's so much literature and so much stuff that will fly over your head if you're not really paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts my head. Like every year in the past, it would be like, oh, there's no way this team A, can acquire this guy, player A. So there's no way. They can't and all of a sudden it happens.
They put it together.
It happens. You go, wait a minute, how does that team have 6 big name stars on it? How are they not paying a luxury tax? It absolutely blows my mind. I would love if they offered a class that I can go and sit in. I'm telling you, I would
enroll.
And I'm not right now.
Bobby Marks actually does offer a class.
Locally.
He literally does.
Does he really? See, locally, I would love to. If there was a local class, I would sign up. And right now, there's not much I want to get my butt off the couch to do. I'm usually tired after work in the mornings. I'll play some golf. I'll do some things with the family. But if I could do that and learn that stuff. I know people say, well, you can read stuff on the internet and all that. No, I mean, just to listen to a guy with a chalkboard out there, putting these things together and making it more understandable. It's Capologist 101 or Capologist for Dummies.
I did like what you just suggested. I was one of those that went back and just looked up the CBA and just started reading because I just wanted to have a better understanding. But then looking at what I'm reading, I'm like, I'm not going to digest all of this in that manner.
I can't figure out the Medicare stuff. I turned 65 in October. To tell me I have to join now. I'm like, what? I don't get what I'm doing here. Am I paying? Do I pay for that? Do I not pay for that? I'm getting a million things every day in the mail. I need somebody to sit down with, not that's trying to bring me into their thing, because somebody who actually knows that has been through this. I mean, I don't get it at all. Yeah. I don't understand at all. There's plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. Tell me what the hell I need to do, and I'll just do it. I don't want to have to make decisions. I thought Medicare was you turn 65, everything was free. That's how naive I was.
Just fire it up. Let's go.
I know, but just, I'll have to learn about that. But learn about Medicare and learn about how these teams are put together. But it does look like the Grizzlies, who have already been extremely active, will continue to be active. And the latest, again, if you missed it, restricted free agent Quentin Post offered $30 million. 3 years, $30 million. That's the offer sheet that the Grizzlies threw out there. We'll see if the Warriors match. They have until midnight tomorrow night. Tonight, though, it's all about Team USA and Belgium in the World Cup. Right now, we expect Flo Balogun to be playing. But who knows? The Belgians may walk away from this game, and it may not ever happen. Even before that one, we have a really good one with Portugal and with Spain. I expect Spain to win. And if that's the case, this will be the final game for Cristiano Ronaldo in the World Cup, playing in, I think, a 6th World Cup for Portugal. But I think Spain should advance. But it has been downright exciting so far and surprising when you have some upsets like we saw with Norway knocking off Brazil 2-1 and Paraguay giving France all they can handle. We had the great game yesterday between Mexico and England, with England prevailing 3-2. That is going to do it for us today. I want to thank Richard Mulrooney for joining us on the program. Tomorrow, Mickey Barker joins us for golf. Eddie Murphy will be joining us to talk about the Ed Murphy Track and Field Classic that's coming to Memphis this weekend, bringing stars from all over the place. It's going to be epic. We'll have Humdinger's Trivia as well. We get it started at 7 a.m. Landon Schmidt is in for Dave Woloshin, who is out again this week for vacation. Check out Landon from 10 to 11, followed by Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. For Eli Savoy and for Jay Ham, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great Monday, everybody.